fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live on a beautiful Monday, November 3rd. Getting ready to talk some fist fights. It's UFC Vegas 111 fight week. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's crack-a-lackin', big dog?
Good, man. Had a good weekend. I hosted Lights Out 28, which was fun. I got to host weigh-ins, which was cool. I have never hosted weigh-ins before. Like, however many times I've done commentary or interviews or whatever, I've never actually done like the Joe Rogan, welcome to the weigh-ins, you know? So it was fun. It was actually a lot of fun. I did not expect to enjoy like kind of the ring announcer thing so much, but you really are, you kind of create the moments, you know, like when Bruce Buffer's in there and he's screaming Poetan's name, you know, the one, the only, you know, he's making the energy. He's making the energy in this matchup. The fighters feel it. So it was a cool moment to see like Grant Neal fired the fuck up and get in, you know, Renato Valente's face, me be like, tomorrow night. It was actually, I had a blast.
Let's go. I like you, man. I'm glad that you enjoyed the John Anik side of things. So we're going Anik Finch. You're going to be hosting weigh-ins and shit. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weigh-ins.
Welcome to the weigh-ins. One more sleep.
That's nice.
You know, it is.
Yeah.
It's better than working for a living.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, fuck yeah. Fights, excitement, events, spectacle, the theatrics of it, you know? You may not be the next Johnny Depp, Mike Finch, but you could be a future John Anik. You know what I'm saying? Or the first Mike Finch, you know? We can make it happen. There we go.
Thank you. The very first.
I like it.
Actually, my dad's Mike Finch. The second.
Mike Finch. Are you a Mike Finch Jr.?
I'm the second because he didn't want nobody to call me Junior, which I'm sure the whole chat will call me Junior now that I said that. So he went with the second. So I'm like Roman numeral second. And my wife's pregnant and she was telling me, no way the kid is going to be the third, you know? So it ends with me. Generally, since the 1800s, the firstborn Finch male is named John Finch.
Interesting.
Yes, John Bird Finch after my great grandpa John B.
Is the
Finch.
bird thing because of the Finch being a bird? Is there some type of correlation between the two?
Excellent question. Double meaning, right? Okay. First of all, Finch is a bird. You got that one. The second one, he had scarlet fever when he was a kid. He was born in like the late 1800s. He had scarlet fever. So he was like gonna die. Like he was like sickly looking. And so they would call him Bird. He looked like little twig legs like a bird, you know? His nickname was Bird. Yeah, his nickname was Bird. And so when he lived, kept the bird thing. Yeah.
That's cool as fuck, man. That's interesting. You know, like your American ancestry that far back, right?
It is cool, man. Like I got to find out that my family fought in the Revolutionary War. It's fucking awesome.
Did you do the ancestry? Like, how'd you do it? You know, would you watch?
I got to read the book. There's an autobiography on John B. Finch. And so, and then, of course, ancestry ties us together too. But there's a book. And so I got to read about the various relatives, where they came from in France and England, and came to the U.S. and fought for the, independence of the colonies. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, that's really cool, man. I got to do the ancestry tree and find out what's up, man. You'll see like, Danny DeVito's probably in the lineup somewhere like that.
Yo, AJ's an Italian mobster.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if you had some Tony Soprano in there.
Maybe we'll have to look into it, bro. I'll go Eddie Bravo style. We'll dig deep. The issue is when you give the saliva now, they can make clones of you and shit. Things can go sideways up in here.
Yo, the way I feel about it's like if they make a clone of me, I'm flattered, bro. I'm
That'd be
flattered.
Pretty cool.
Make a clone. I mean, I would if I could pay to have a clone made, I would. So they're gonna do it for free all day.
Can you imagine you had a Mike Finch clone, you and him? You think you'd be best friends or mortal enemies, bro? Right? Right? There's got to be an element to that.
I think friends. Yeah, like I had sisters growing up, and so I always wanted to like wrestle and do jiu-jitsu, and they would be like, no, you know. So if I had like a little clone brother, yeah, go to war.
Go to war. There we go. Finch clone 2029, maybe, man. We'll see. We'll call out some of the better laboratories because I think things are on the horizon for 2030. You think
I keep hearing that date, 2029, like the shit's going down. Like AI is going to take the game over in 2029.
Yeah, no. It's not like the world's going to end. I think things are just going to dynamically shift, you know?
Damn. Okay. 4 years, huh? Yeah, I think from 4 years from now, you'll have, there'll be the flying roadster that Elon's working on. We'll have a date for like the Mars mission, you know. But I think we'll still be running the show just like this. And I feel like people. There's like I got a good friend, my best friend, honestly. Me and him got in this argument about AI because some people, I think maybe him, they get caught in this echo chamber is the wrong word. What could I say? Algorithm. Really, they get caught in this algorithm where it just feeds them like AI doomsday stuff. Like the more you click on the AI doomsday stuff, the more they're going to feed you. That's just one possible fringe outcome, I believe. I'll insert the word fringe. There's a lot of good outcomes too, so I'm rooting for those.
I'm on the good outcome side. I'm a fan of the technology, man. I mean, AI is fantastic. This is a beautiful time we're living in, and I love to see, the next phase of whatever technological evolution is on the horizon, and glad to get to witness it and witness some fist fights every weekend. Like, we're living lavishly, bro.
I think it's fantastic. I think double down on AI in the United States. We want to, be the leaders in artificial intelligence. We want robots to do jobs that we, don't really love doing. Like, does anybody really want to be the janitor? I feel like, that we can, everybody can be rich. The goods and services can be very cheap if you have labor that doesn't sleep or want vacation time, right?
Thank you for the 199. Butt clinch Junior, butt clinch over Junior. And why is Mike live? Mike Finch, why
would I not be live? Was there a reason why I would not be live?
I think they're saying on your channel you got your premiere going on.
Oh shit!
I don't know if that was accidental on purpose.
Shit! Okay, okay. So people might not know how YouTube works. If you click premiere, it'll premiere it to people. Shit, I didn't realize this would overlap. You would premiere it to people, and then you're not necessarily live though. I just pre-recorded that. So sometimes people are confused in the chat. I'm giving you guys an opportunity to watch it together because, this is why I need one thing on my this is a YouTube problem on my page. People are like, you don't do any content. I'm like, you have to click live to see all the lives.
We can, how about we'll go through your page and we'll change some things. We can maybe clean it up. I can help you get it set up so it can show your most recent live stream. I can do that for you after the stream.
God damn, AJ's my tech guy. Thank you.
We can do like because your interface of it, like I can customize it. Like right now, I can put any video I want is for the returning subscribers to be my premiere video. To be honest, I think I have last week's full card pick still. I got to update mine after this stream.
I know what you mean. Like with the video that when you click on the channel, the first one that pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just doing one also just to not have them all be live. So anyway, that's why. Yeah. Just so I'm not live on every single thing, Hernandov. How dare you insult me, sir? Thank you for the $2.
Moises E. Pasquale. He needs a Mike Finch clone ASAP. Thank you for $199. Listen.
At home jiu-jitsu coach.
Mike Finch clone around the world. Buy yourself a Finch.
Not very handy with like IKEA furniture. There are some issues for sure, but can definitely talk MMA all day.
All right, there we go. Get yourself a Mike Finch. We'll see what we can do. Shout out to PDX Hoya for 2 months of membership. Finch deserves props for the Buffalo call. Thanks, bud. Props for the
Buffalo dog.
Buffalo blew my mind, bro. I'm like, what? Buffalo.
AJ don't know what the fuck you're talking about, PDX. Thank you. I tried to tell my boy AJ here. He's hating on my guy Radkey, talking all this that Radkey's like, what is he, dumb to you? This motherfucker can grapple, okay? His grappling's been game. It's been game. And you put him against, this C-tier talent, he's going to strangle these motherfuckers. You know who else I got? Where's motherfucking Waldo coming through with it? But AJ told me before we went live, AJ pick flipped. AJ jumped back on the Where's Waldo train. So tell us officially.
There's
AJ,
your flowers, Finch.
Those are my flowers?
Those are your flowers, my friend.
Thank you. I want to thank my mom. Are you officially back? Because I said to everybody right on the show, last Moneyline, I said AJ was the biggest Where's Waldo fan. He would pick Where's Waldo all the way up. Where's Waldo loses one decision to fucking the Pav, and AJ was off. Are you back on the train?
I was back on the train after. I was probably back on the train during the show. I had an excuse set, man. I had an early fucking day on Sunday. My head wasn't right. I was finishing notes up. The video was late. I was gone all day. I fell into some type of delusion, and I said, "Wait a second. Let me get my head out of my ass." I said, "Where's Waldo's my guy?" I mentioned them on Wednesday, and like I hinted at the pick flip, and then officially I like to do it Friday for the spectacle of it. But no, I was planning on pick flipping Waldo most likely. Weird end to the fight. We'll talk the card. We want to recap some of the key fights.
Run it.
I think we should get into it. You want to go controversy first?
Okay, let's go.
Let's jump right into the controversial shit. So Isaac Dulgarian and Yadir Del Valle. Dulgarian was obviously a fair-sized favorite all week. A few hours prior to the fight, line started to crash. Was a lot closer. Was like minus 135 for Dulgarian, going down 105 points. Props were closed on the fight because a ton of people had bet up, or maybe not a ton of people, but a ton of volume of cash had been on that first round Del Valle prop. Fight happens. Dulgarian shoots a takedown, can't get it, reversed, ends up getting choked out. A lot of suspicion around it. He's been released from the UFC. Pending now investigation on Dulgarian in this matchup. It's a very tricky situation, but I will say everything points to Dulgarian, for whatever reason, decided to take the cash grab and take an L here against a talented grappler. Now, I thought when I saw the line crash, first instinct was, okay, maybe there's an injury that got released. The injury was there. It got spread. Maybe he's coming in injured. This happened with Darek Minner a few years back, and he went out and he lost quickly the first round, and the line was completely bet up against him. I just look at this as an awkward situation for me to be in because I have always thought of Dulgarian as a real athlete, hard competitor, tough customer, good grappler. I don't know him personally, but I do have to say there was a clip that is now floating through the social media circles of him pre-fight talking about he thinks that fighters should get a percentage of bettors' winnings for if they bet on them. He should get a percentage because they're doing the work. Not saying that makes him automatically guilty, but suspicious.
Makes him aware. Yeah.
Makes him aware of the gambling.
Mind's on it.
He was associated with James Krause. James Krause was involved in a massive scandal.
Yo, AJ's a lawyer, dude. You're fucking selling me on this shit up here.
Isaac Dulgarian being tied up around that crew, right? Then going into this fight, speaking of the betting side, his eyes are very focused on the betting side, and losing in the fashion he did against a guy in Del Valle who's very good. But I have a hard time saying that Isaac Dulgarian shows up like that and gets subbed in the first round. Look at the fight against C-Rod. In the first two rounds, Isaac Dulgarian is very offensive with wrestling. He's a tough customer. He's a strong grappler. Like, does he just get blitzed and ran over? Does he start punching his way out of positions as opposed to fighting through it with the grappling technique? He doesn't grab the wrist. He grabs the wrist. He fights the choke. He doesn't fight the choke. He's punching as Del Valle's trying to strangle him. Awkward positions on the ground. Suspicious to me because Dulgarian is a high-level grappler. If he was a kickboxer going into this fight, and it was Del Valle, the grappler, him, the kickboxer, he shot an early takedown, you can make the excuse he made a mistake. But because he's known as a specialist there, to see such fundamental flaws and then losing in the first round with all the gambling stuff, with what he said before the fight, with the past connection to James Krause, who was involved in a massive scandal in 2022, could they have offered him a check? He was a big favorite this week. A lot of money going down on Del Valle. Could have they potentially offered six-figure check, $500,000 to go out and lose in the first round against a guy who's going to look for the submission in Del Valle? There is no absolute yet, but a lot of the evidence is pointing to the alleged being true. Mike Finch, what are you thinking of this?
Your Honor, may I state the case in defense of Isaac Dulgarian? Thank you, Your Honor. As the prosecutor mentioned, there was drastic line movement before the fight, none of which may have anything to do with the intentions of an Isaac Dulgarian. My client here cannot control what others do in a free and open society where they can go and bet on their various sports books. There is no necessary correlation between the athlete and this line movement where people are free to bet. If we review the tape, we will see that Isaac Dulgarian is focused in that cage. I mean, brother, stage theater. I mean, I've done a lot. I just feel like I know when people are bullshitting. I can see, you ever watch stand-up comedy? You see somebody who's pre-rehearsed and they don't sound, and then you feel the person who's natural with it. I could just, he didn't give me any vibes that he was, because I've seen fake fights, okay? We don't have to talk about it, but we've all seen a couple pride fake fights, right? There was no like telltale, fishy business. Then as the fight goes on, he's in some fucking deep chokes. Bro, the first choke that Isaac Dulgarian was in, completely wrapped up. I think it was hand on top of the head. He's completely wrapped up. He could have easily just tapped. And had he tapped on that one, it would have looked pretty goddamn legit. But he fights his fucking way out. He battles back. He's taking punches. I mean, Del Valle is hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. He's trying to hit back too. He's throwing the fucking punches back, pissing off DC. Why are you punching? You got to be hand fighting. DC's always coaching on the microphone. Can't fucking help himself. It looked like a real fight to me when I watched it. Then I rest my case as in the defense. Then I see the replay, and the replay clearly shows the primary arm is completely sunk with that choke, and then the secondary arm is like free, and there's no connection, and then he slaps it back on there. There's like a good 4-second window there where it was like, what was Isaac Dulgarian doing? Like, anybody who has any training in jiu-jitsu would know, okay, we're going to grab that hand, we're going to pull it off of our arteries. Like, it was wide open to be grabbed. So it actually does look fishy. The actual finish itself does look fishy. And you heard that much on the commentary, right? And then, on top of the line movement, on top of the James Krause relationship, you're just breaking this to me about him talking about the betting and how he feels that fighters should benefit from it in general. Lots of red flags. Do I know for sure it was fixed like many of you on the internet seem to? No, I don't. But there's some evidence.
Hey, shout out to you, Michael Maloney. OG sub, first time on the Moneyline Live. W, my friend. Let's go. I had to give him a special shout for that.
Welcome.
Welcome. Strange shit tends to happen. It sucks for me. He was off a year. I thought he was looking to come back better than ever. Goes out and performs like that. First round submission. Del Valle is a beast. I mean, he's jacked. He's strong, right? Of course, he's live to strangle you when he takes you back. But Dulgarian just getting ran over like that. It's a hard pill for me to swallow. Why wouldn't he tap? Say,
Bro, he had him in the choke. He had him in the initial choke. Why wouldn't you tap? It was strange.
If you're gonna fix it, if you're gonna fix the fight, there has to be evidence of resistance. If it does go to a court of law, what you're saying could hold up and say, well, he's fighting the hand. That would be an argument that the defense would put forth. If he just quickly sells it, it looks too fake.
Well, first off, no judge is going to know what a fist fight looks like. Like, you know what I mean? In real life, in court of law, they don't know what the fuck they're looking at. Like, we know, right?
Yeah.
So just that. But AJ, I think the most fishy part of the fight was that last 10 seconds. That was the fishy part of the fight. The previous part where he gets the takedown stuff, that I hear people say, oh, it looks fake. It looked like they were fighting to me.
So betting lines. This is where the suspicion lies. Betting lines with massive bets on a first round prop on Del Valle coming in. Hundreds of thousands on Del Valle first round.
Okay, that's very fishy.
That's fishy, man.
That's the
so
number
fishy.
one. I mean, that is bad. Yeah.
Some betting houses are voiding the loss of Dulgarian and allowing as a push. Some betting houses like BetMGM are actually giving bettors money back for betting Dulgarian. So they're even going out and saying it looks
respect, by the way.
Looks fake.
Respect
Yeah.
for doing that. Yeah.
UFC releases them right away.
Yeah.
This is a
Imagine if
weird
he's
situation.
innocent.
Huh?
People at home are like, he's not fucking innocent, Mike. Fuck you. I know, but
Innocent until proven guilty, but evidence is pointing towards Dulgarian's fishy associations with the James Krause things, with the betting stuff he's talked about, with the performance where he didn't show complete effort. There's suspicions for me. You know, could he have potentially just fought injured and he revealed that to somebody and he knew, this is going to be trouble. Fuck, can't get a takedown early. Well, fuck this. Maybe he was fighting injured too. But it seemed like he did not dig his deepest on that takedown attempt. He didn't dig his deepest on trying to escape compromised spots. It's a weird fight because Dulgarian, his grappling is his strong suit. And to see him just mauled like that against Del Valle, that's what was head scratching to me. Not that Del Valle isn't talented, but it's just Dulgarian looked like a shit can. This is a guy that destroyed Francis Marshall on the ground. Like Isaac Dulgarian won the first 2 rounds in a competitive fight against C-Rod on a lot of fan scorecards. At least he lost a split decision to a very good fighter in C-Rod, who's the prospect killer himself. Interesting stuff.
definitely interesting. I want to see where it goes. Is it true that the UFC is withholding his purse?
So the commission is withholding his purse.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Could you imagine if he was innocent? All right. I maintain an open mind. That could have been a fake fight. Yeah. Wow. Just wow. I didn't hear about it till late too, that the line moved and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I saw it on the live stream. I was saying to the chat, I'm like, guys, this line's going crazy. I said, if you're betting Dulgarian, I was essentially saying just you have to hedge the other side now. If it's just you can't, it's just too risky. And then sure enough, first round, Del Valle runs through him. It's like strange.
Let's give AJ credit. He's always the hawk for this shit. You know, AJ's always wondering, is this fake? Is Vegas doing something funny here? Yeah. So AJ stays skeptical for y'all.
I think it's worked out, you know, with the Lucas Almeida Michael Aswell fight. Not necessarily fixed, right? But Almeida comes into the fight with a broken hand, gets knocked the fuck out. I don't know. Some weird circumstances, you know, refereeing mistakes this year. Like when you really start to go down that rabbit hole, we can start pointing to Frivola versus Nelson. We can start looking at the fight between Yoel Alvarez and Vicente Luque, which wasn't stopped, and it's the referee involvement. And then to see how Alvarez finished that fight was very strange, just holding the inverted triangle. So we can definitely look at Michel Pereira against even Kyle Dawkins. Oh, well, he got blitzed. He got knocked out. Would you take a clean shot to the chin for $500,000? I don't know.
It's just, it's not if you're going to rig a boxing match, you have to take a fucking punch to the face, right? But if you're going to rig an MMA fight, you're getting your nose broken. Like you shoot your head right into a guillotine. It looked legit as fuck. It's my thought.
And Dulgarian getting subbed, if they are going to throw it, you just kind of said it yourself. Strangle would be optimal, right?
Absolutely. So why wouldn't they do the first strangle? It's fucking AJ saying so there's more of a struggle. Again, that's seeming like it's probably true, but you know, I think I'll be interested to see where this goes if more evidence is presented. If they start fucking publishing text messages between James Krause and fucking Isaac Dulgarian, you know, funny. With figures, you know, then that'd be different. Yeah, no, I don't know, y'all. Hey, keep it real out there, folks. There are people like my dad who just want to discredit. Oh, it's fake fights. You know, how do you know it's real? You know, we got to keep it real out there, guys. Let's have some fucking integrity. Thank you.
Ultimately, Dulgarian, there's a defense in a legal case still, regardless of all the evidence I'm presenting. It doesn't absolutely mean guilty. There could still be relative doubt. But I will say, if someone speaks up, if someone close to Dulgarian then says, hey, no, there was something fishy going on. If someone's pressed and then they essentially rat him out, that's when I think a true conviction could be on the table. As of now, alleged fight fixing, but it looks like fight fixing to me.
Apparently it looks like it to the UFC so much that they cut him. So, you know, do they know something we don't?
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to run through some of the more positive elements of this card. The main event, Steve Garcia broke David Onama, knocked him out first round, buckling him with big shots. Onama looked half asleep. It is suspicious, though. Onama's with the same crew as Dulgarian. Oh, shit. No, I don't think he threw the fight. I think Steve Garcia is a bad matchup. He's a fast starter. Onama's more of a tactical guy who's a slow starter. This wasn't a fight fix on my end. I don't think so. I think you can reach and chase, but Yusuf Zalal was in the corner of David Onama. He was not in the corner of Isaac Dulgarian, I must add. I don't think a Yusuf Zalal, who's a high-level contender like that, would be involved in that type of scandal. I don't see that. I think Onama was just simply outgunned. I think Steve Garcia is a fucking madman. He's terrifying. Him versus John Silva, book it right now. Why waste time? Him and John Silva for a king of violence. That's the fight.
They go to
Why
war.
Were you overthinking it?
Yeah, don't even overthink it. They go to war. Steve Garcia gets in a fight. You know, David Onama wants to be technical. He wants to be, you know, let's ease into this thing. He's kind of dipping his water into the pool. How warm is it? Steve Garcia runs up, fucking dives head first into that shit. You know, Steve Garcia lets punches go, take some risks, and it worked out for him. He rocked Onama and just stayed on him. Steve Garcia finishes fights. AJ and I both picked him. We both got him.
Yeah. It was a money call. The Steve Garcia side by knockout. I thought if he's to win, he's got 25 minutes to do it. He's going to put him away. And he's a top tier contender now. I mean, you're looking at 7 wins in a row, 6 out of the last 7 knockouts. The only guy that survived was Cavalcanti, one of the toughest guys ever at featherweight. I'm looking at Steve Garcia and I'm thinking, book me this fight against John Silva right away. It's such a perfect battle of violent styles. I want to see what happens. Why not? It's a fucking main event if they choose to for a fight night, or it's a great featured fight on a pay-per-view. That stacks a Paramount pay-per-view. First card of 2026 for the pay-per-views or for the numbered events. I have to break the habit of saying pay-per-views for the numbered events. If you get a Steve Garcia, John Silva on the card, that's major shit.
Yeah,
this is a super fight.
Yeah, it's a fight of the night type thing, and he did get a performance bonus here against Onama. He's just a performance bonus type of fighter. Shout out to everybody who bet it. It was the bet for the VIP channel where I drop a free bet every single week. AJ decided to go with Mr. Garcia. Speaking of people who won, Jeff fucking Cooper, shout out to you, dog. It was in Vegas this past weekend, and Where's Waldo and Garcia funded your night. I love to hear that shit, first of all. Are you the person who DM me? Somebody DM me. They're like, bro, I'm going to drop a dono on the channel. Your bets help me. If it was you, Jeff, congratulations. And is that Yoda? What is that?
I think that's
Yoda. Don't.
That's Yoda?
What? Oscar the Grouch? What are you going to hit me with? The fuck were you going to say, bro?
I'll be honest. I thought that was a mascot, like the big green monster for the fucking Red Sox or something like that. Dressed as Yoda. I don't know.
What? That is Yoda, son. He has the Force. May the Force be with you, Jeff.
May the Force be with you, chat. Thank you, Jeff. David Onama.
Performance. Throw him against Gene Silva. Absolutely. Next
up, I poke Padilla. Catches the ring finger in Waldo's eye. Thinks he gets a knockout.
Tom?
Ref stops the fight.
Tom, did you see this fight? You have to fight Where's Waldo now, Tom. Tom, you have to. You have to fight him now, Tom.
Where's Waldo? Talked some shit after. He fought through a tough eye poke, and he got a quick KO on the comeback against the teammate of Tom Aspinall and Ante Padilla. Ante Padilla, I mean, he brought some pressure early. Waldo looks strong in the clinch. Striking was competitive. But Waldo seemed to be comfortable. Eye poke and then the blitz. Referee didn't see the eye poke initially. They run the replay. They restart the fight, which I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought we were looking at a no contest. I'm like,
no contest all day. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's no contest and that's it.
Worse.
D'Elia celebrated the win and then obviously gets the W taken aback, which it should have been because there was a bad eye poke. They go back out there and Waldo flatlines them. Big overhand, ground and pound, call it wraps. Weird situation, right? To have the adrenaline drop. Like you got D'Elia celebrating as if he got a first round KO. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows. For him, he got a first round knockout and he got knocked out in the first round all in the same fucking night, man. Wild shit.
It was a fucking crazy fight. I wanted to show you my boy T texted me. He's like, bro, did you just see that? That was literally the craziest shit I've ever seen. I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see when you watch Ante versus Waldo. I was at the Lights Out 28 event, guys, working. You're not going to believe what happened. I'm not even going to tell you. So he got me thinking, I'm like, what the fuck could possibly have happened, you know? And it was a wild one, man. It was a definite eye poke swipe, really. Eye swipe. How about the reaction, right? How about the reaction from Waldo after he won via knockout? You know, he eats that jab, boom, he comes with the counter two, sets D'Elia down, punches him a couple times to get the referee to step in. He starts yelling and grabbing his eye afterwards, man. It was clearly bothering him bad. The fucking cojones on that guy to be able to go step out there, said, fuck a no contest, right? I want my KO, I want my money. Goes out there and gets a performance bonus as well. That's how you earn it. That's that big respect. People, you know, all this talk about what type of fighter is Tom Aspinall and what. Well, Tom Aspinall is a gangster, first of all. But you want evidence that Where's Waldo's a bad motherfucker? I mean, at this point, you could put him up for the BMF title. My man just showed real heart, real courage to get out there. And AJ, he finds it in the next like 20 seconds. Like as soon as they started the fight back, he put him out. His hand speed was always going to be an asset for him in this fight. He uses it with one eye.
I was impressed by Where's Waldo going through the adversity of that, fighting through the eye scrape, the eye gouge. The call out of Aspinall was fun. I like that he, worked that up with some antics. It's an interesting situation because obviously many are going to use it to shit on Tom Aspinall. Waldo's eye looked worse. Waldo fought through it. He didn't. To be fair, though, Where's Waldo? Got hit in the eye, yes. Apex fight against Ante D'Elia versus, a world championship fight against Cyril Gane. Whether or not he could or couldn't see, he said his vision was at 20%. Aspinall's claiming he couldn't see at all. Yeah, I mean, Waldo definitely won some points this weekend. He knocked out the teammate of Aspinall after getting eye poked by him. I think that if Waldo gets another win, it's a new face for the top. And if Aspinall does end up passing through Cyril Gane, a Where's Waldo fight could be sick. I think Where's Waldo versus Alexander Volkov is pretty savage fight to make. Obviously, he has that loss to Pavlovich. But the issue with the Pav, I feel, is a rematch against Volkov for him doesn't seem to be as likely. Volkov coming off the Jailton W. Volkov is not going to go fight for the belt next because they're doing the Gane versus Aspinall rematch. I feel as though Waldo versus Volkov, it's a new look. I like that idea. I'm interested in watching it as well. I think it's a cool matchup between the two of them. I don't know. I think Where's Waldo versus Alexander Volkov could be fun matchup to make. Obviously, it's a bit of a, step down the ranks for Volkov in some senses, but Waldo, he's been on a tear. The one loss is Pav, and it is what it is. You lose to the Pav. Pav is top 4. But Pav's only losing to Volkov and to the champion Aspinall. So
I like that fight as usual, AJ. Yeah, that's an exciting matchup. That's a fun one. I saw Where's Waldo at weigh-ins, and it even made me more confident. Like, you could tell he's in good shape. You could tell that he's taking this seriously. And he was hungry. After losing the first fight he's lost in years, he came back really hungry against D'Elia. And fuck, man, he's a gangster. You got it. Your respect level for Waldo got to be there now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. On the side of D'Elia, the loss puts him in an interesting spot. Starts his UFC career off with a big W against Marcin Tybura. Granted, it was a Tybura that showed up in awful shape and got ran over. I think for D'Elia, a fight against somebody like Sergey Spivak makes a lot of sense. I'd like to see those two fight. I'm curious how the matchup would go.
Sergey's got a fight, right?
Is Sergey booked at the moment? I didn't see him booked. Let's check.
I could have swore I saw his ass. And I know Shamil's booked.
He's fighting Shamil Gaziev. You're right.
The
loser, you're right. Good call. The loser of Shamil and Sergey Spivak versus D'Elia, maybe. Derek Lewis, D'Elia is not a horrible fight either. I think D'Elia taking this L, I don't know. I see him climbing back from it. Tough. Because they were giving him the path to gold, really. They're like, okay, here's where's Waldo. You win this fight, it's Pavlovich next, no problem. Or it's Volkov, top contender fight.
Right.
You go out and lose here. I don't think that it's an easy matchup against Derek Lewis. I think Derek Lewis could end up giving him trouble. I think D'Elia, seeing him Saturday made me say, he's pretty small for this weight class. And he's not the best wrestler. He's not the biggest puncher. Kind of relies on speed and flurries. I don't love it, man.
Yeah, especially against the bigger, younger, say even faster. Where's Waldo's got fast fucking hands, dude? Shout out EMG Drug God clocked in for this shift. Third shift. My goodness. This guy's OT. OT, OT. There's never much love when you go OT. I pray. You make it back in one piece. I pray, I pray. Drake, you got it, AJ?
Oh, yeah.
That's why I need one dance. Okay. Hope everybody here is doing good. Blessings. Love this MF and gang. Yeah, let's get it this weekend, man. I'm excited for sure. And then we got the pay-per-view next weekend. Come on, bro. This pay-per-view is sick. So I love this weekend's good for sure. There's some dogs this weekend, but I'm already looking over the hill and seeing that pay-per-view and salivating. Thank you, EMG.
Shout out EMG. Luck says, what's up? He says, wait, why does it say I'm a member? What the hell? You got gifted a membership, bro. Or potentially you got forced into it. You got forced and somebody came through mafia style. You know what I'm saying? You got gifted a membership, bro. Thank you, Luck. Shout out.
So you can just gift anybody a membership? Like,
no, it's random.
It is?
You click the button, it goes random.
Like, not to you. What's a good example? I don't know. What if I don't, what if I'm gifted a membership to some like OnlyFans girls channel and then my wife sees that and then punches me? You know what I mean?
Why are you watching OnlyFans girls on YouTube live stream, brother? You getting yourself in trouble. Shit. You can turn accepted gifts off.
Turn around on me.
You can turn it off. It's got to be turned on.
All right. Tell my wife that. Okay, cool. One more we got to cover.
We got PDX real quick, man. Thank you for $9.99. Day 9 of the Therese Finney membership. Hunger. Hopefully he gets one eventually. At this point, I think Therese Finney might just have to pay for one, bro. I think he's barred from getting gifted one because of how many times he's been timed out, bro.
Jesus Christ. My guy's got his own jail cell in this motherfucker.
He does. He's like, in China, when you got the bad credit score, same shit in the chat.
He's got not enough social credits. Right. Hey.
What are we talking now? We were quickly running through this one, and then, oh, shit. He wants to talk about, who's that? I don't recognize him. Is that a boxer? Who is that?
The motherfucking man right there, kids. All right. I got a text from AJ right away. Hey, man, props on the Charlie Radke pick, bro.
I'll tell you what I said.
I didn't hear shit after the Waldo one, but I guess you flipped.
I said something better than that, Mike Finch. Hold on.
Is that right?
I said, good call, brother. Radke fought smart.
Wow. What a statement on Charlie, huh? That is true.
He fought smart. He fought smart.
Yes, of course. You go through, you take your opponent where they're weakest. I
got robbed in this fight. I heard Frunza got hit by a car.
He got hit by a car in a fucking cage named Radke, dog.
He did. It was a good performance. I don't know. Every once in a while, I went 11-2 on the card, but of course, I just had to throw one dumbass pick in there and then one fixed fight. So essentially, I'm undefeated, bro.
Yo. Yeah, man, Frunza, you know what though? He could gut out some of those choke attempts. Like Charlie Radke's choke offense is pretty nice. He knows how to, gable grip. He's punching it in. He's trying to adjust. He's using his shoulders. Frunza's gutting it out, dude. Like he made it through. Was it the end of the first or second where he made it through full blown locked in choke, just waiting for the fucking time to be up? Like homie wanted to win,
He did. He didn't have the tools to do it. He didn't have the makings of a varsity athlete. Let me fucking tell you something. That's the truth of it all. It is what it is. Radke looked sharp. I mean, takedowns on point.
Come on, guys.
Confident from top position, in shape, ready to go hard. I was impressed.
People just
by
haven't seen it. They just see
No.
him go in there and bang, and they think that's what Charlie Radke's got. That's why you come hang out with us, so I could tell you I've been choked by Charlie Radke. This motherfucker's slick on the mat, so you know he should be doing that to more people.
Props to the Radke. Look pretty good. Props to the Finch man's boy. And real quick, Garimbo Wells outworks him. Garimbo got done in. Can we say it's over the Garimbo hype?
Garimbo's pretty bad, bro. I was pretty disappointed.
Wells,
Garimbo can get takedowns and he can have moments, but it's like he does nothing with it. It's like, Temba, you got to make a decision. Are you going to be the guy who you can't really hold anybody down, but when they get taken down by you, you're dropping an elbow on them, you're hitting them with a couple big shots as they get up, you're breaking off with a spinning back elbow? Like Drake Flores got hit this weekend at Lights Out 28. Holy shit, dude. This dude got fucking flash KO'd by a spinning back elbow, comes back with like TKO in the same round. It was sick. Shout out to Drake Flores. Are you going to be that? Or are you going to be the guy who ties up the wrist, ties up the legs, maintains position? He couldn't do either to Wells. It lost him the fight.
Yeah, agreed. And I quickly want to shout out the Savage Lock City parlay. Timmy Kawamba with Nascimento comes through at plus 155. I was hype about that shit, man. Two guys that I was excited for on the card. And yeah, man, feeling good. Finch, you got any final notes on this card? You want to talk any of the ladies' fights? You want to shout out, Johnson for pulling through by sub?
Were you really surprised? Johnson was part of a parlay for Premium Channel. We go 2-1. We hit the minus 125. Where's Waldo? So everybody was sweating, I'm sure, with the madness with the eye poke. But that comes through. And then Johnson was part of the parlay. And then Temba Garimbo, I should have never trusted. And then we had Steve Garcia on the free channel. So people made money this weekend, no matter where you got your bets from me. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, Finchmeister. Listen, we got a full card to talk about. UFC Vegas 111. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you have not yet, hit the subscribe button as well. We're breaking down the full card. Starting it off, we got Jackson McVey versus my guy, Mr. Danger Zone, Robert Valentin. I'm excited for Robert Valentin, Mike Finch. Can we finally get this guy a UFC win? And they give him a winnable matchup here against Jackson McVey. I give credit to McVey's submission threat. He's got long arms. He's got long legs. He's got some jiu-jitsu. His stand-up game, his kicks are nice. He's got good head kicks from the outside. But I did not like his boxing and range against Bruno Ferreira. Yes, Bruno Ferreira is way better than Valentin, but there was some slappy shots and some awkward moments. He just didn't seem to have natural boxing. You know, certain guys, it's just, it doesn't look right. I didn't like what I saw. So now he's got to out-grapple Valentin. Yes, say what you want. Valentin has lost some fights against, Ryan Loder ends up beating him up. Loses on the ground in that fight. Fucking Therese Finney, lay and pray. Still won the third round. Tebagatier destroys him. But those three losses, I look at and I say, okay, but is Jackson McVey as good as a wrestler as Ryan Loder, All-American? Does he have the smothering pressure abilities of the cinder block? Therese Finney? Does he got power like Gatti? I'm going Valentin for the win. He's getting his UFC W. He's an Ultimate Fighter finalist. He looked good on the show. He went 2-0 in the house, and it's time. He's back in the apex in his comfort zone. Let me tell you something. Valentin's going to strangle McVey. I'm going Valentin for the W, and I'm excited for it. Needs to happen. This has
been AJ's boy. You and your boyfriend, fucking Valentin over here. Did he not just fucking?
It's a bromance. It's not gay.
In his lab. Okay. All right. Well, he's definitely not the one. He doesn't have the balls. You know what I'm saying? He fucking quit in his last fight, dude.
Oh,
he quit.
Bagatier though. Ateba Gatier is making Jackson McVey quit. Gatier is a monster, Mike Finch. Come on. Don't do
Jackson
that.
McVey is tough. Jackson McVey's got a nice choke game. I really like his front headlock game. Like you said, long arms and the submission threat's real. To hear that you're picking Valentin via submission, I don't see that as likely. I think McVey via submission is far more likely. I think Valentin's ground game is not great. I agree that he's been up against better competition than McVey, but he's looked pretty bad against that competition, bro. I really I gotta say I'm not also in love, you know. No sparks here on this what is this, the third UFC outing? Yeah. Lost to Ryan Loder, who got fucking dominated. Made me think that Russian dude was good. Fuck is his name? Maybe think that.
To be fair, though, Yusri Belgori is a freaky long kickboxer that trains with Pereira. Like, you know.
Facts. Yeah, losing to Torres Finney, not the best. At least it was split. Ata Bagatier. They're giving him the big Jack Black dudes. This is definitely not a big Jack Black dude. McVey, kind of a Jesus character here.
It's funny as hell.
So 26 years old, second UFC fight. I don't know, man. He did look good in LFA. Like watching his shit back in LFA. I do appreciate the submission game. I kind of see it as striker versus grappler. Valentin should be better on the feet. Valentin a better kickboxer. McVey probably a little more dynamic on the ground, you know, more submission threats. Do I want to bet on this thing? Fuck no, I don't want to. I kind of just want to spite you and pick McVey. I also think his boxing looks real bad, dude. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he looks timid, but Valentin looked timid. Valentin, how do I pick a guy who was scared? Like, he looked like he was scared out there. Go fight. Go into the fire. Go into the goddamn fire. Don't be out there scared. I'm picking McVey. Fuck it. I can't pick Valentin after he just goes out there and lays down and quits, dude. How are we going to pick Valentin after that? How are you still a fan of this motherfucker after he goes out there and lays down? I don't give a fuck who's in front of you. You got to go out there and fight. Dare I say it? Is it too much? Is it okay? Fight like a man. I'm going McVey. Submission. Choke.
McVey to sub my guy.
Sub.
I think Valentin's going to find it this time. On the Ultimate Fighter, he looked like a bad motherfucker. I don't know what happened under the bright lights. Ryan Loder's a good wrestler, but he almost got Loder early in that fight. I think Valentin can set things right, man. I'm excited to watch it. I'm looking at the betting lines, and I'm not telling you go out and throw the house on a -175 Valentin. On the opposite side, McVey at +150. You got two unreliable guys. I get the dog and pass mentality from a gambling perspective, 1,000%. I think this fight is live to end and finish. I think Valentin live to go out and win by sub, but +215 is not great. The opposite side, McVey by submission. What? Bro, you got +800 McVey by submission line. Is kind of crazy, right?
You're going to chase it, aren't you? You see it? Ding! You saw the light bulb go up. McVey's got chokes, bro.
He does.
Valentin
I don't get that
loves
line.
to lose. He loves to lose. He's looking for it. He wants to lose.
He is 10-6. You're right. He's got a bad record. Listen, my journeyman Valentin, I liked him on Tough. He reminded me of Yuri Prohashka. He gave that energy. Inside of the UFC, he's been fucking Yuri Prochizky, you know, full fucking knockoff. But maybe he gets things right this time, man. But McVey got ran over by Bruno Ferreira, too.
Ryan says, gay stoner Jesus, isn't it? First of all, stoner, okay, I could see. Jesus, I already said. Gay, Valentin's the one face down, ass up in these fucking matches, bro. I don't know what they're talking about.
Hey, McVey's still on his back, dog, with a man on top of him, you know what I'm saying? Holy shit.
Oh, I'm out. I'm going to go McVey.
Okay.
Would I bet on this fight? Are you crazy?
Are you plus money, +800 submission? You're not tempted?
800 submission now, you know. How dare you make me consider betting on this fight, bro? What is wrong with you?
Listen,
you're a sick fuck.
I'm a convincing guy.
Okay. We'll see what's up. I don't know, but +800 is kind of nuts for the pick that I think is most likely to happen.
Let's go. Finchman going McVey. I'm going Valentin, and let's keep running. Next fight on the card, Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcos. I'm riding with the side of Daniel Marcos to get it. I think Strike-wise, Slicker. Finch is smirking. I don't know what he's thinking. I'm looking at his facial expressions. Man, he's shaking his head. Holy shit, he's animated tonight. I think that we're looking at Daniel Marcos. Yes, Johns was preparing for last week. Fight got canceled, got moved up to this card. Daniel Marcos is a sharp kickboxer with decent grappling defense. I feel like he can outstrike Johns in a technical manner. I look at Johns on the other side. He has big punches and wide punches and big moments, but like, he's not really a precise knockout hitter. He wings big shots, but they don't always land with accuracy. Wrestling is okay, but not great. I think Marcos is going to catch him with some straights. I think he can work some teeps to the body, fight off some takedowns, have some moments of his own. I can see him hitting a trip. I think Daniel Marcos wins a competitive decision against Miles Johns and gets back on track after the tough loss to Montel Jackson.
If Marcos takes Johns down, that'll blow my mind, bro. I think Johns is the better wrestler, but that's it. Johns slows down, dude. You know, by the time the third round comes around, he's fucking looping his stuff, taking heavy breaths. Marcos is reserved, but yet has a high output. Like, he doesn't put himself in really bad positions. He's not stupid, but he also has a high output. He can hit you from every single range. I like his kickboxing a lot more than Miles Johns. You know, Miles Johns has the one-hitter quitter. He's going to be slanging them, you know, so you don't want to be on the opposite end of that. There could be a moment where he hits the chin of Marcos and Marcos has to sit down. But I do think overall Marcos is just the better fighter of the two and could probably have a massive third round. I really do like Daniel Marcos in this matchup a lot. I think he's a pretty bad matchup for Miles Johns.
Agreed. And I'm not overly concerned about whether or not he had a full camp, because of Marcos giving like, I need this energy in the fight game. Like, this is what he's got. This is all he has. He took a disappointing loss. Like, that's some heartbreaking shit for him. And I'm looking at Miles Johns. Obviously, you could say the same thing, but he's at a reach, not really a reach disadvantage, actually. Same height, same reach. I swear to God, it looks like Johns got a lot shorter arms. But I think that from distance, Marcos is sharper. And I have a hard time seeing Johns flatlining him with a big punch. I mean, Daniel Marcos beat John Castaneda. I feel like in some ways you can look at that matchup and say, all right, there's similarities. Obviously, Castaneda beat Miles Johns at one point several years ago, not to use MMA math, but just like with, you know, pressure wrestling style, some boxing in your face. But I think that, you know, Castaneda's got better cardio. Like you said, Johns tends to slow down. Miles Johns coming off losses to Gene Matsumoto in a very competitive back and forth fight. And then the fight before that, he lost to Felipe Lima. I think Daniel Marcos' decision makes the most sense here. Miles Johns gets outgunned.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Are the odds tight?
Minus 170, bro, for Marcos. Plus 145 Johns. Too close. I think Marcos should be minus 250.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. I was hoping it was actually even odds.
That would be fucking spectacular.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
He opened at 3-1, so there's been some love on the side of Johns betting wise.
Okay. Yeah, there's no love from my side, man. I think Marcos out kickboxes him. That's why you saying he's going to take him down is interesting to me. I would be very surprised. But the kickboxing, AJ, I think he kicks him in the calves, you know, tears him up from the outside. And then in the third round, bro, maybe he puts him away. I think actually a decision's the most likely. Marcos' decision makes a lot of sense.
I feel like Johns does have a decent chin. I think Marcos, accurate striker, but yeah, I see more likely a decision. Decision win for him is not fun at plus 100, but KO plus 365. The money line at minus 170, that seems like a pretty live parlay piece to me. Like if Daniel Marcos loses this fight, I'm genuinely surprised. Miles Johns, he's coming off losses, and you can tell me if you agree or not, to Gene Matsumoto and Felipe Lima. Does Daniel Marcos not have pathways to victory against both those guys?
Yeah, of course.
Right? I think you're looking at Marcos, who's top 20.
Yeah.
John's on the other side, I think, is top 30. And I think Marcos, a little more well-refined, should win a close fight against him.
Faster, more direct with his punches, a better kicker, better cardio, and tested enough in the UFC. Yeah, I like him a lot here.
Let's go. We're going with the side of Daniel Marcos to get the W. Finchman and I lining up on this one. And let's keep running. Next fight on the card. Ladies going after it. Tisha Pennington versus Denise Gomes. Finchman, tell us about the ladies. What are you thinking?
Bro, Where's my coin, dude? How many fucking split decisions does Tisha Pennington need to be in? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is this another one? Do I have a coin? I used to have my Doge coin, bro. Aha!
What is the Doge?
The Doge. The Doge. Dun dun dun. All right. So we got let's say Tisha Pennington's given head. Well, that was crazy. Why would I say that? That's the head side. Tisha Pennington heads and Gomes throwing tail. Why am I crazy like this? Why am I talking like that? Okay, ready? So we had Pennington as heads, Gomes as tails, and it's heads. I guess we can go Pennington split decision, let's say she'll have like a 30-27, 29-28, and the 29-28 Gomes. Seriously, like that's how these fights end up going. Gomes, showing a bit of her worth in the UFC, probably closer to her prime than Pennington, but Pennington well-rounded, really only lost to, or primarily lost to the best in the UFC. And, I just don't see how Gomes takes this fight over. I think these rounds are close, and I think Pennington can just barely do enough to edge it out. But again, we talk about betting on this show, brother, got to be crazy to bet on this show.
Plus 160 Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington to win, though. I'm surprised the odds have her as this size dog. I mean, you look at the resume of Torres, like you said, she's been around. She's fought top prospects and veterans alike. 2 straight wins, Carla Esparza, Luana Pinheiro. Losses are Tabitha Ritchie by split decision, Mackenzie Dern by split decision lately. And even it was 2022, but that split decision against Dern, I thought it could have went her way. Gomes on the opposite side is a damn good prospect. She does have some nice wins. The Elise Reed finish, outpointed Cavalcanti. Even a split decision against Eduardo Mora is, I'd say, fairly nice. Eduardo Mora is a tough customer. She lost to Angela Hill and Loma Lukbume. I think the veteran savviness on the side of Tisha Pennington should be enough to get a close decision. Pennington's fast, good punch combos, flurry and shots. I don't think Gomes going to have the stopping power to put her away. I think it's hard to connect clean on Pennington. I think the grappling's close. I say Pennington on a competitive decision, but better odds are probably this fight going over 2.5 rounds. Pennington is extremely durable, and I think more likely we're looking at the ladies going long. Now, I will say, though, for a lady at 115 pounds, Denise Gomes can crack. She's got 7 knockout wins. She's got 2 knockouts, actually 3 knockouts, rather, in the UFC, which I think demand respect. Bruna Brazil, Yasmin Hargi, and Elise Reed. These are nice KOs. If she puts away Tisha Pennington at 25, I mean, Denise Gomes' ceiling would then be limitless. So I will say Gomes by KO. It's only 5-1, though. If it was plus 1,000, I'd say, degen it up. Who gives a fuck? But I think it goes over. I think it's a competitive decision.
No, come on. Of course. I think the most likely is definitely that's going over. Bro, this might be the first time Gomes is taller. Gomes is 5'2". Tisha Pennington's 5'1". Gomes is taller. Isn't that crazy? Maybe with reach, she's gonna be in there fucking feeling like the shit, That's what happened to Grant Neal this weekend at Lights Out. He had the reach problem and the range problem, which Gomes always has to deal with. So, that's that Angela Hill loss, right? As to where now she's up against another fucking fire hydrant of a woman in Pennington. I don't know. It's a tough one, bro. A lot of better things to bet on, in my humble opinion.
No, I think it's a respectable opinion. I think it's a fair take. Denise Gomes is a good prospect. Denise Gomes is trending upwards. Just Pennington somehow finds ways to make these fights damn close. Yeah. I could see the decision going the Gomes side if it's competitive. I could see her landing a couple bigger shots. I'm saying it's going close to the end. And, I'll go Pennington with Finch, man. We'll stick on that side. But I think over 2.5 rounds makes a lot of sense here. I think fight's going distance. I think fight ends in a 29-28, something like that. If Gomes goes out in 30-27, it's Tisha Pennington and wins a unanimous decision. That's a fucking big deal in itself if she dominates Pennington in some way.
That would be surprising. I mean, she would have to find moments, and I like that Pennington just fought, earlier this year. Yeah. So we're not talking about a layoff or anything, because she is 36 and has a kid, right? Has a kid. Yeah. Huh. So just things to understand. Fuck it, I'll go with her. I mean, it's likely this fight goes to split decision. How about that, AJ? How about that for a Propaholics bet?
Listen, that is propaholic shit. Looking at it, fight ends in a splitter majority decision is plus 400.
That's not as wide as I had hoped, but you know, it's that likely. I think it's about right.
Let's go. Finchman and I going Pennington. Let's keep running. Next fight. We got blurry Max Gimenis versus.
I know, bro. Why does it look like he's got a mask on? It's like in fucking what's that fucking horror movie where the serial killer takes the person's face? Like, what the fuck is this, bro?
It's scary shit. I am picking Hokit to win, but I will say Gimenis has world-class BJJ. His MMA career has been interesting. 4 straight wins, but you know, W's against 7-8, 9-9, 6-14, 1-3, and even lost to a 2-4 fighter 2.5 years ago. Josh Hokit on the other side, former pro NFL player, former NCAA All-American wrestler, younger guy, lighter though by 30 pounds. So it's going to be a bit of that, you know, weight advantage for the big jiu-jitsu player. If Gimenis finds his way to top position, I mean, this guy is solid from top. His top game jiu-jitsu looked pretty nice. I was watching some of his jiu-jitsu tape, and I was like, this guy is not Mr. Guard Polar. Like, he can work from top position. He's strong. He's big, thick. Now, granted, he's getting ran over by like a Nicky Rod, but, you know, he's still high-level jiu-jitsu. I saw that a weird fight for me to pick. That's the one. Right? That was interesting.
Yeah, from CJI. I remember watching that.
Yeah. I look at Hokit and I'm like, you got to strike here. If Hokit can box, turn it into a boxing match, I think you got to show his hands, show his athleticism. If a 2-4 guy can beat him, I think Hokit can beat him too. But there is the element of if they go to the ground and if Gimenez's size, you know, ends up in a top position, even if it's a reversal, Hokit could be fucked on his back here. I'll pick Hokit, but I will say, you know, we'll find out everything. What do you think about Gimenis? Obviously, you're a big jiu-jitsu fan, Finch. What are your thoughts on him as far as BJJ goes, and what are your expectations with MMA debut here in the UFC?
Not the best guy to transition to MMA. Funny enough, the best guy would be the one you mentioned, Nicky Rod, because Nicky Rod has the wrestling and he has the athleticism. You know, Gimenis is not an athlete like that. You know, Hokit is a better athlete. AJ, I think one key detail here is that Gimenis is way bigger than Hokit. Hokit is in the 220s. Gimenis is 265 pounds. Gimenis is a big ass heavyweight, bro. He's way bigger than Nicky Rod, you know? So I'm gonna take Gimenis. I'm gonna take him and just say that he has a moment where he gets a grappling position and is able to capitalize on it. You know, Hokit is a good WWE wrestler. He talks a lot of shit. He's got the American flag bandana. You know, it was a cool post-fight interview on Dana White's Contender Series. I remember it. But he's gonna do well against the non-grapplers, which, by the way, there are plenty. If he was matched up with Chris Barnett, you know who I'm picking. Chris Barnett's the wrong type of 265 pounds. Shout out to my buddy Motaz Oscar, who just won his fight this weekend. I told him, what do you hit Chris Barnett out here? He had his fucking shorts around his knees in the middle of the fucking round after a takedown. I'm like, the fuck is this? Do you know what haram is?
Yes.
You do. I'm like, what is this haram, brother? What happened to you? He's got his fucking ass out.
That's funny.
Shout out to the Oscar brothers. Shout out to Motaz Oscar from Factory X. Getting it done this weekend. Proud of you, brother. Let's fucking
congratulations, man.
Let's go, Motaz.
I know his brother did Muay Thai fight. Oscar did it recently. Yeah.
That's right. Got a dub as well. That's right. AJ paying attention, dude.
I pay attention. Yeah.
That's because they were on the show. Good folks over there. They own a gym, Round 4 in Illinois. Go train with the Oscar brothers. It's worth your time. How did I start talking about that? I'm going to go Gimenis. He's a 4-1 dog. 4-1 dog to Hokit, who has his fucking UFC debut. Hokit should be better at striking, probably faster. And I think this is closer to 50-50 than the odds would say. And I got a feeling. As AJ pointed out a couple times, if Hokit ends up underneath Gimenis, it's a massive issue. Hokit is gonna, I think, AJ, look to just box. He's gonna look to move and box. That might work for him. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Gimenis gets the sub.
You know what the sub line is for Gimenis? You're gonna shit yourself. Plus 1,000. plus 1,000, bro. I was like, I would rather give, if you're looking for degenerates, I mean, it's not any means of an impossibility. If you talk about most likely method of victory for him,
Wow.
I lean towards sub. I mean, granted, you could say ground and pound because he does have knockouts in MMA. And, you know, you look at it and say, oh, but in MMA, Gimenis has 4 wins by KO. True. But if he can use some jujitsu, I think that would be a way to beat a Hokit, strangle him, take his back, you know? Interesting. This is going to be a weird fight at heavyweight because Hokit is so small for heavyweight.
What the fuck? All right, so we got the minus 1,000 or plus 1,000, and then the other one you had me at plus 800 for fucking McVey, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they doing to me? All right, just making notes over here.
I'm gonna call it the shiesty sub prop parlay, picking it against the, you know, actual prediction, but shit's always possible when the cage door closes. So why the fuck not on the gambling side?
Why the fuck not, dude? Yeah, these are big boys. Hokit, his nickname is the Incredible Hawk, but he's not the Incredible Hulk. He's 229 pounds. He's not that big. He's what
he should be a light heavyweight.
But one, yeah, he's a light heavyweight, exactly. And he's up against a pretty sizable heavyweight in Max Gimenis, who, you know, AJ points out, you know, which is true on your previous show. You know, you pointed out that he's fought nobody. Like, yeah, Gimenis has fought bums for sure. And he got knocked out by a guy with a 50-50 record. All true.
25-75 record, man. 2-4. Even worse, I know. Rough.
Pretty bad. So, you know, those are noted, right? But I think Hokit being undersized here and having never fought in the UFC before and having a real heavyweight in front of him is a problem. I'm not locking Gimenis. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that 4-1 is a little wild.
Agreed. Jeff Cooper, thank you for $9.99. Random matchup I want to see. Walter Walker versus Derek Lewis. Who takes it? What do you think the odds would be? I lean Walter. I'll be honest with you. The Walter Walker investment for the UFC, as far as building him up, it's a Derek Lewis fight. That's a decent idea. Obviously, they might give him a Tybura to get past an aging heavyweight, but it's a fucking Derek Lewis fight. If he beats Derek Lewis, Walter Walker is then on a short list of top contenders. Now, I will say this. I like Walter Walker a lot, and Finch, I'm curious if you agree, but I have a worry when he runs into some of these guys like a Jailton Almeida or a Sergey Pavlovich or Curtis Blades, some of these big heavyweights that can also grapple at a high level that are unlikely to give the leg up. That's where I think he could end up making a mistake. Because one thing I'll say about Walker in the UFC is you've seen the win streak, but you've seen him buzzsaw everybody. What happens when a takedown gets stuffed, somebody easily escapes that heel hook? What happens? I don't know how he's going to fare with the adversity element of these better heavyweights. I like Walter Walker a lot. He's 27. The sky is the limit. Maybe he's the guy that submits Tom Aspinall with the heel hook. But there is a little voice that I hear saying he's going to run in to a guy that can stop his attacks. And imagine him versus Curtis Blades. I think Curtis Blades will probably knock him out. And I like Walter Walker a lot. I'd be cheering for Walter Walker. But hard to say he gets past those levels. Like the guys he's subbing, okay, Louis Sutherland, Kennedy and Nzechukwu, you know, it's like guys are decent. Louis Sutherland, I don't even know. To be honest, Louis Sutherland is a lesser win than some of his other UFC wins.
Derek Lewis drops big bombs. Yeah. So that's like the fucking issue for me, AJ. It's like Derek Lewis is going to fucking drop some, you know how the United States is starting to test the nuclear warheads? Well, I think Derek Lewis is going to test the first one as soon as Walter Walker goes for a leg lock. That's the issue. I think Walter Walker is better than Derek Lewis. He's far closer to his prime than Derek Lewis. He's got more ways to win the fight than Derek Lewis. He could even maybe TKO Derek. I mean, Walter Walker is aggressive and pounces on people. Yeah, my early lean there would be Walter, but like, does he give him a run for his money? Does he make him gamble? Yes. And, you know, you talking about these top heavyweights, brother. Jailton Almeida's 5. I'm going to go Walker over Jailton Almeida.
Yeah, I like it. Holy shit.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? No, I think Walker could break in. No, I don't think the top 10 heavyweights are shit, bro. I don't think that. I'm not.
What about Sergey?
Impressed by your performance. I feel like, you know, The Rock asked Joe Rogan. The Rock's like talking about Mark Kerr, and he's like, I think, guys like Mark Kerr, and I think they could still be champions today. What do you think? And Joe kind of deflected it. He kind of went into, champions are champions, and I feel like any era they'll sort of learn the skills, right? Because he didn't have any calf kicks. You know what I mean? Like you're not doing 2025 MMA with the skill set of a Mark Kerr. And I want to say for most weight classes, fuck no, and for Mark Kerr, no. Mark Kerr's not great. Mark Kerr was like a 50-50 record back then, Mark Kerr is, not a great fighter as far as winning is concerned, but heavyweight has evolved the least, heavyweight's the most open for a Walter Walker.
Walter Walker, it's a beautiful technique with the heel hook, and I think he buzzsaws through a lot of people throwing it out, but I'm just interested to see what happens when somebody stops it. We'll find out everything. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a Walter Walker fan. Buchecha next? Holy shit. He knocks
one guy
Buchecha
can't
out.
leg lock,
Fuck. Can you imagine Buchecha subs him, just kills all hype? Fuck,
yes. Yeah, Buchecha's got really good leg lock defense, bro. That'd be very hard for Walter to get off. So just a strange matchup, Derek Lewis is a strange one for the other reason, because Derek Lewis isn't going to defend it at all. He's just going to try to knock you out, even when you're going for it.
That's great, man. I hope that we see it at some point. This heavyweight fight here, not to that caliber. We'll go opposite ends, but I understand your side on Gimenis because Hokit, there's some red flags. But I will say, if he can turn into a boxing match, because I think he could stop those takedowns, being a high-level wrestler, and he can strike with Gimenis, bro, I think Hokit's hands are going to fucking tune up Gimenis. Now, if Gimenis got a big overhand, we'll find out. We haven't even seen Gimenis fight at an LFA. What level? Like, I'm looking, the opposition rate is not LFA. So I have no fucking idea. We've never seen him on Contender Series. We didn't see him on The Ultimate Fighter. He's never fought in CFFC. It's only been Shogun fights, against guys that they picked for him to try and thrive against. And real quick, we got a dono from somebody who, I don't know how to say that. When I see myself in the mirror below my waist, I also think I am more African than Francis Ngannou.
Who said that? Hang on. I'll remember who said that quote. I remember that quote.
Mike Perry.
Oh, that Ilya Taporia?
Was it Ilya? I don't know.
That was Ilya Taporia, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Ilya.
Holy shit.
That was Ilya. Okay, EGP. What are we talking about here? What is this? What is this EGP stuff?
I don't know. Egyptian grand dollar
currency. Let's see here. Egyptian pound. You're correct. All right. And it's what was it? 200 EGP is $4. Thank you for the $4, brother. I'm gonna doubt you're packing the Francis Ngannou heat, but thank you for that.
Let's go. Finch, man, let's keep moving up. Next fight. Another ladies matchup. We got Bueno Silva versus Cavalcanti. I'm going with Cavalcanti. It's time to go against Bueno Silva. It's just, she exhibits frustration in fights. Enough so where I pick up on the pattern and she loses confidence. That is pretty red flag shit for me. When you're fighting a girl that is 28 years old, 9-1, and undefeated in the UFC. I think Cavalcanti's momentum carries her in this fight. She out kickboxes Bueno Silva. Bueno Silva's going to try and grapple her. Cavalcanti's size will aid into the grappling defense. She's a little bit taller. She's going to have a nice 3.5-inch reach advantage, and she knows how to use range. And if you look at Cavalcanti, I mean, she beat Melissa Croden, who got the win against Tainara Lisboa and is a decent prospect in this division. As of recent, beat OG Julia Avila, beat Nora Cornell, some split decisions, but she clearly won those fights. The split decision mark sometimes can cloud you if you're just looking back on records, but going back and knowing of what took place in those fights, she won those fights and the right person got it done. Split decision sometimes can almost be looked at as like, well, they almost lost. No, Cavalcanti's undefeated. Cavalcanti is surging. She's 28. She's making improvements at a rapid rate. She's a very good striker. And I think that Bueno Silva is past her prime. I think Bueno Silva has mental lapses. She's 10-5 as a pro and has lost 3 straight fights. I think since Bueno Silva got off of the Adderall, She hasn't fought the same. She was on performance-enhancing drugs for the fight against Holly Holm. Yes, it was Adderall. Yes, she claimed she had a prescription. But since that Holly Holm fight, she has not looked that same caliber since she popped. And I think there's an element of that. And I think she suffers mentally with focus a little bit in her most recent fight. Seeing that frustration makes me think, is that Adderall really helping her out pre-fight? Take a little before, hyper-focused. Wasn't getting those negative thoughts, was just tunnel-visioned. Seems to lose herself in fights when things go awry. And I think she's going to lose herself here. I'm going Cavalcanti.
Damn. It's a great take.
Thank you.
I don't know if I have anything to add. I think it's a fucking perfect take.
Thank you, bro.
You know, she is showing signs of being frustrated. She is past her prime. Cavalcanti, 5-0 in the UFC? Excellent movement on the feet, you know, solid striking, just very competent, like much more reliable. Mayra Bueno Silva, you know, she'll throw up a ninja choke on Holly Holm. She's got some game for you for sure. She's a strong, good grappler, but gets sloppy. Yeah, I like the word frustrated. That's exactly it. So I'll go Cavalcanti in a decision here. You know, could even potentially put Mayra Bueno Silva away, but Cavalcanti stays real mobile, kind of like Bull and Matador thing. She's going to be a good Matador here. Stays on her bicycle, wins the rounds. 30-27 Cavalcanti. I like it.
Odds for Cavalcanti. She currently is sitting at a -250 tag with Bueno Silva at +210. I think the odds are fair. I think over 2.5 at -380 is sensible. Cavalcanti to win a decision is 2-1 odds. Wow. But yeah, I think so.
I think so. That's a nice one.
So. Yeah.
That's a nice one. It makes sense.
Yeah.
1 + 1 is 2 here.
Hey, shout out to Ilya Aptoro
Good
for
man.
gifting 5 memberships. Thank you,
Good
bro.
man.
I appreciate that. You're a very generous gem. Thank you, man. Always good to see the members growing. Members stream Wednesday evening. Excited to chat it up with you guys. You know what I did earlier today, Finch? I did a 1-of-1 gaming stream. I played UFC 5 on live just because I wanted to test it. It's an Apex car week. I said, fuck it. Let me start the Monday off. I won't be replacing any of my normal shows with it, but I think maybe once, twice a month, I'll throw in a late night gaming stream for the people and fuck around on UFC 5, man. It was a good time. It was a vibe for sure.
I'll fight you on UFC 5, dude. I'll throw it down. I've only got a PS4 though, bro. I live in the past. You're on the PS5?
Dude, they don't have it for the PS4 either.
Yeah, bro. I live in the past.
You told me that.
PS4. I'm nostalgic. Yeah. I like
I mean, the PS4 was a great system.
It's a great system. It still works fine.
Dude, they're already talking PS6. I'm irritated. I'm like, you fucking guys already jumping to it?
Bro, I'll tell you what. This phone, this is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, okay? It's an old phone now. They're on the 17 now is out?
Jesus, I think I got an 11, bro.
This is better. Bro, come on. This camera, I show people the cinematic mode. Go on fucking Lights Out social media. You'll see me doing it. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Why would I get a new phone? So I'm sticking to my fucking dusty ass PS4. All right, motherfucker.
Yeah, KZ was calling you out for UFC 5. KZ, I played him on UFC 5. Guy's a fucking demon child. Like, just too good with the controls, man.
Yeah,
he's scary, bro.
Really?
I asked the chat, who am I as far as UFC comparisons to my skill set in the game? They said Davey Grant. I say he's like a Charles Jourdain.
Yo, at least they didn't hit you with fucking Valentin. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God. Thank God.
Maybe
after this weekend, though, that'll be a compliment. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I play one game. Actually, I like Madden. I like the old Maddens, like Madden 16, Madden 17. But I play Black Ops 3, Call of Duty Zombies, and I play the Revelations map. I have an addiction to it. So if anybody wants to run it up with some COD Zombies, I'm a beast.
Let's go. There we go. Finch man on the COD Zombies, bro. Find them. I am excited for this new UFC game, to be honest, Finch. Listen, KZ's no joke. If his skills from the game translated to real life, I'd say, bro, he's in the UFC. Quick.
Same with there's some 8-year-old out there who fuck us up in the game, you know?
There's some freaks, man. Yeah. I'm ready to run it up, Finch. I am excited as hell to talk about this next fight on the card. We got Adrian Yanez versus Christian Quiñonez. I remember a time when Adrian Yanez was the next big thing. Like, he had that hype. Like, it's like it was trending almost like a Hispanic O'Malley. it was like, this is like a Masvidal, you know, featherweight. There was a lot of hype on Yanez's game. And unfortunately, they rushed him a little bit. He ran into Rob Font and he got knocked out. He ran into Jonathan Martinez and he got chopped up. But not all hope is lost for Adrian Yanez. 1-1 in his last 2. But what I will tell you is he's showing improvements. Went to a split decision against Daniel Marcos. I think that's something you have to respect. I think that Yanez is going to win against Quiñonez. Quiñonez is a guy that's easy to underrate because of his losses. He's 1-2 in the UFC. Losses are to Barcelos and to Kyung Hil Kang. What I'll tell you, though, is he did take Barcelos down, who's a good grappler. Like, Quiñonez can mix it up on the ground a bit. I know the Kang fight is going to make you think he has no grappling. He's not bad. Stand-up game, he's got kind of a wide stance. Seems like a blend of more of a traditional martial arts with MMA. I think that he's going to get caught in boxing range with Yanez, though. I think Yanez is a lot better boxing, sharp hands, good combos in close. And I think with Yanez, I'm not so worried about his takedown defense. I feel like he can grapple defensively fairly well. He's quick. He's light on his feet. It's certain guys that have been able to chop him up with stiff jabs and leg kicks. But he seemed to have closed the holes a bit. And I think that he's going to box up Christian Quiñonez here. And I think that Yanez gets some hype back. I could see Adrian Yanez having a good 2026. I don't know about him becoming the prospect to contender that at one point was originally expected, but he's a tough customer on this roster. And I see Yanez with some real staying power. I think a win over Quiñonez, especially a knockout, can start moving him back up again. And I could see him, you know, closing in on a top 15. I think Adrian Yanez is very good. And I think that he's starting to put things together at 31 now, nearly 32. I see some W's coming his way. And I think a Quiñonez fight favors him.
You said people thought he was the Masvidal, as if he's not. I think he could still be the Masvidal.
Sure.
I think he could still. I mean, he's not as cool. You know, he's not going to come up with the what was it? Two chicken and a soda. What was it? 2-piece.
The 2-piece and a soda, man.
2-piece and a soda. You know what I mean? He can't
3
come up with
piece and a soda. 3-piece
you know,
and a soda.
And he might not have the Ben Askren highlight reel flying KO. But in general, like, that's roughly where I see him. You know, Jorge Masvidal, 35-17 losses in his career. When he was 31 years old, he was losing to Lorenz Larkin on UFC Fight Night 88. You know, so I feel like he actually is like exactly a Jorge Masvidal. He's a good boxer. I think that's what matters here. You know, I think that his hands are just going to be too much for an aggressive Quiñonez. Quiñonez likes to bring the fucking fight. You know, Christian's going to get out there and throw the kitchen sink and rip the pipe out of the wall and throw that too. And I think Yanez can just pop him with some shots. Probably gets a KO, dude. I think this is an important win for Yanez here. Give me Adrian Yanez knockout.
I'm really hyped, bro. I'm happy to see Yanez back. I always enjoy a good Yanez fight. Hasn't fought in, you know, nearly 11 months. So he's taken some time since that Marcos loss. But I expect him to come out sharp. Now, I know someone in the comments was talking about it, that he's took over at his gym as a head coach with the passing of his father, the coach.
Wow.
So that's interesting, right? To see a guy who's coaching others. But there's an element of that can be a positive, that, you know, coaching also improves the fight IQ. And a matchup against Quiñonez, I think there's a clear pathway for him. And I'm excited to see Yanez with a chance to really show out. I'm looking at the odds. -210 for Yanez, I think, is a fair tag. Quiñonez +180. Quiñonez coming off 2 losses in a row. Yanez 1-1 in his last 2. But, you know, there's positives to take away, and losing a close fight to a Daniel Marcos. Knockout for Yanez sitting at +140. I think he's live to bust Quiñonez up. I know inside of the UFC, Quiñonez is yet to be KO'd, but he does have 2 KO losses outside of the UFC. And when I watch him strike, there's moments where I see a bit of lapse of judgment as he's closing distance. Head is very much on the center line. Some punches are overextended. I think with Yanez's hand speed and accuracy edge, should find some. I'm going Yanez.
I think so, man. I think Yanez is a pretty tough matchup for Quiñonez. And, you know, Quiñonez's lack of defense, like he's going to get hit. And Yanez is not the guy to be getting hit by. So it's a good bounce back fight for him. He's still got stuff to offer in the UFC. I'm not off of it, man. I'm not writing Yanez off at this level. I'm not.
Let's go. Yanez, Quiñonez. We're going Yanez to pull through. Slight favorite,
Go.
and he seems like the right call in this matchup right here. Let's fucking do it. Next fight, we got the featured prelim of the night, Hyder Amil versus Jamall Emmers. Jamall Emmers can box. He's got a nice 1-2, very athletic. I have to say, on the side of Amil, the worry, Finch, man, that bad loss to Delgado, the chin was cracked. He comes out in this fight, he gets caught cold, he could end up getting rocked again. But what I'll say is the positive. Amil never gave up. Like, even when he was out on his feet, he's still trying to get back out. He wants to fight. There's no quitting Amil. On the opposite side, we've seen Emmers dropped and finish and turtling up. Hyder Amil is that ballistic pressure, that bruiser style, in your face, wrestling, boxing, throwing big shots, backing you up, never giving up, and trying to outwork you.
Yeah.
Jamall Emmers is a pretty boy. That's it. Pretty boy is the nickname. It's the perfect fucking explanation of this fight. Hurricane versus pretty boy. Emmers needs it to look clean. He needs to catch him with some straights, bust up Amil in the first round, and probably knock him out. If you're talking about a 3-round dog fight, Emmers will not survive the onslaught. And if he goes the distance, he'll be on his back getting beaten up. I'm going Hyder Amil to beat him. I think that Emmers in the first round could be live to catch Amil cold as Amil's closing the gap with a bit of recklessness. But if it passes those first 2-3 minutes, I think that's where Emmers starts to fall apart and Amil takes that fight over.
Well, and Jose Delgado is the one who was able to, to beat Amil. And look at how that aged, man. Jose Delgado looks great, even in the loss. Looks really good. Jamall Emmers 4-inch reach advantage, but we've seen Hyder Amil get it done against William Gomes, who's fucking lanky as it gets for the weight class. He could apply that pressure here too. I think you're on point with this one. Again, AJ, I'm doubling up with you. Let's go with Hyder Amil. I think he walks him down. Can he get him out of there? I don't know. That's tough to see. I mean, I think the TKO is live for sure. I'm like 50-50 between a TKO and a decision, but I'll go Hyder Amil.
Hyder Amil should be able to handle business. I think Hyder Amil can push a pace. And if it's 3 rounds of work, I think he's ready for it. I feel like Amil can out-wrestle Emmers in the later stage, especially past the first round. I think like the biggest risk for Amil is that first round, because when Emmers starts fights off, he's quick with the hands, he's light on his feet, he's athletic, and he gets a little crazy. He throws wild shots. And Amil, he's hittable. Like, the way he closes the gap is with a reckless abandon. But as long as that chin's okay after that Delgado fight 4 months ago, I think that he's got the will to win. And I think he's looking to have a good comeback fight. I feel like Hyder Amil, he's pissed about that loss. He was undefeated going into that fight. Hyder Amil had never tasted an L. And him coming back like this, I think it tells me a lot about his mentality. He knows he's 35, like it's now or never, and he wants to make some waves in the UFC. I think he passes a Jamall Emmers test. And I do think he would be live to finish a Jamall Emmers. We saw Nate Landwehr stop him. And I think that
Nate Landwehr's chaos. I mean, Nate Landwehr's fucking chaos.
Right. Right. So let's go, man. I like Amil to win as a slight fave. Minus 150. What do you think about the odds? Minus 150 Amil.
Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful.
And then first round KO for Emmers, I feel like is, maybe his only pathway is plus 575. If we get past the first 3 minutes, I think that's where Amil would take over. But even if, Amil blitzes, could he not stop an Emmers in round 1? We've seen Emmers get dropped before. So
let's say he does, bro. Fuck it. Yeah. Let's say he does. I'm going to go Amil TKO, because
that small cage too. Yeah. I like him in that small cage, just pressing, and Emmers slowing down. Like, I can't keep this demon off of me, man. Trying to punch him up from distance, and he just keeps closing the gap, going crazy on him. I think
he is a fucking demon. Yeah, it's hard to be pretty in there with Amil. I think Hyder's got this thing via TKO. Let's say he gets it done early.
Let's go. Hyder Amil to get the finish in this one. If you're looking at inside distance, plus 125. If you like the KO side, it's plus 145. And if you're thinking it goes longer, Amil by decision is plus 275. But you don't have to chase, because Amil money line is minus 150. That's pretty good. And I think that he's got a real chance to outwork Jamall Emmers in this one, man.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. I mean, it could go long. So that's why, personally, I would never chase, just a little odds bump like that for the chance that this thing goes long. But as AJ said, small apex cage, you got a tornado, I think he's getting caught up in it. Hyder Amil TKO is going to be the lean here, but Hyder Amil just, bringing damage, making moments happen. I think that's how he wins this fight.
Let's go. Finchman and I both on the Amil side. let's jump to the main card opener. We got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Marco Tulio. It's a big spot for both guys, as the winner of this one will definitely get the push up the ranks as one to watch heading into 2026 in this middleweight division. I'm going with Marco Tulio because I think he's a little nastier. Close range. Tulio's got some good strength on the inside. Potentially could mix in takedowns. I could see him out grappling Leroy Duncan. Tulio's got power in his hands. He comes forward with good straight shots. He walks you down. I could see Leroy Duncan pushed on his back foot. A little bit uncomfortable. Leroy Duncan looked good in that Eric Anders fight, getting a first round KO. But I will tell you, do not forget this, guys. Eye poke and nut shot. Eric Anders had some testy fouls against him early, and then he got caught cold shortly thereafter. Not to say that's the only reason that Leroy Duncan beat him, but I will say you get kicked hard in the balls and eye poked badly. That throws the momentum of the fight off. And then you got a Leroy Duncan walking you down with hand speed. And, Eric Anders is towards the final phase of his fighting career. Yeah, Leroy Duncan puts him out cold in round one. I don't think he's putting Tulio out cold here. I think Tulio can push a pace on him. I think Tulio can make it a dirty fight. I think he could outwork Leroy Duncan. I think he could outgrapple him. I think he could break a Leroy Duncan. I'm excited to see Tulio potentially be the better MMA fighter here and mix in some wrestling. I'm curious to see if he shows us some of those ground skills in this one, puts Leroy Duncan on his back. He's a shoot box Diego Lima prospect. The gym's been doing real good as of late, and I feel like Marco Tulio's a pretty serious prospect, and I'm going to favor him to go out and beat Leroy Duncan. Hard to say he gets a finish because Leroy Duncan's sharp with his striking, and Leroy's got a good chin on him as well, but I can see Tulio smothering him and beat him up. What do you think, Finch? Leroy's
2 losses are to strikers, Armin Petrosian and Gregory Rodriguez, who could grapple too. But, Tulio's special on the feet, man. I like Leroy Duncan, though. Like, I'm no Leroy Duncan hater. He's pretty fucking good. He could hit hard. He's got some talent. Tulio looks slick with it. He seems like a pretty goddamn, sniper, quick striker for Leroy Duncan to deal with. So I'm going to lean Tulio, but it's a good fight. This is a really fun matchup to kick off the main card. Definitely one to not blink, man. You could easily see a finish happening here. Honestly, either way, I think people are less confident in Leroy Duncan than I am. Like, I rate Leroy Duncan a little bit. He's only 30 years old. He's got some quality wins inside the UFC. He's definitely got some talent. He's bigger, stronger, 6'2". Tulio is going to be having, I believe, a disadvantage in the reach department. But let's say that he's a little bit more technically sound and able to set up Leroy Duncan a little more. He's been quite a sniper. I think there's a bit of an aura about Tulio striking that Leroy Duncan is going to have to get past. You know who else has an aura? Kevin El Basri in this mother effer. Thank you for the $5, Kevin, all the way from Orlando, Florida. He's at Disney World. This guy's sitting on the "It's a Small World After All," watching the show in a teacup right now. Let's go, Kevin.
Let's go.
Get big on Del Valle. Breaking news: Kevin El Basri rigged the fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy who fixed the Del Valle versus Isaac Dulgarian fight. I'm glad it's coming out. Wow, did you see that deadly rear naked choke? Kevin, it's a rear naked strangle around these parts. What a boa constrictor. I thought he was Andre Galvao for a second, all the way here from Orlando. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful vacation, Kevin. Yeah, it was probably fake. I will say I'm not completely sold. Like, but like looking at that highlight at the end where he's got the strangle arm all the way in, the primary arm's all the way in, and there's no secondary hand. He's not covering it with his chin. The secondary hand's in, and then Dulgarian's just kind of like, I don't know how to defend a choke. That was a bad look, right? That looks fake. And then the line movements. So it sounds like Kevin's thinking that thing was fake. Thank you for the $5, Kevin.
Let's go. Thank you, big dog. You just got the FBI investigating him now. He's in trouble, my friend.
My bad, Kevin. I didn't mean to tell him, bro.
Shit.
That's probably, I probably shouldn't joke around like that, huh? I was gonna do that to you earlier. My thing was gonna be that AJ fixed the fight, and then I realized like somebody could take this seriously. I don't need Cash Patel calling me Cash. I swear, you know.
Man, I mean, listen, when I'm proven not guilty, if that was the case, the channel gets crazy publicity for it. So, could end up being a win-win.
That is true. I will be sure to frame you of the next crime I see.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Odds for this fight, Officer Finch, -190 Marco Tulio, +165 for Leroy Duncan. I like the Tulio pick. Do I like the bet? Money lining it at 2-1, not necessarily. Inside distance at +165 is scary because of Leroy Duncan's athleticism and his durability as well. It's not like Leroy Duncan's a guy, oh, well, he got knocked out here. I can find the evidence of him getting, busted open. I think that Tulio may end up having to outwork him. It's a difficult fight. I'm with you, Finch. I think that you can't fully look past the Leroy Duncan. I don't think he's completely outgunned here, but I do think Tulio's better.
Yeah. I think Tulio's just he's smarter. Like the way he sets up his shots, I feel like he's going to be a little bit unpredictable. Leroy Duncan relying a little more on the athleticism, on the strength. I think Tulio's going to set him up, maybe kick him in the head or something. Let's go Tulio. It's a good matchup. I don't doubt Leroy Duncan. I think it's going to be a fight.
Agreed. Looking forward to this one. Finchman and I both going Tulio. Let's get to the next one. Ricky Simón versus Hayani Barcelos. Barcelos has been on a roll as of late.
Uh-oh.
Ricky Simón's won 2 in a row.
Uh-oh.
I'm still picking Ricky Simón, Mike Finch.
Okay.
But I will say Barcelos has really found himself again after falling on hard times. I mean, that loss to Kyler Phillips, that loss to Umar Nurmagomedov, that loss to Victor Henry. Prior to that Timur Valiev loss. He was 1-4 across 2021 to 2023, but as of late, 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
The Peyton Talbot win is a big deal because he took out, the UFC's prospect that now they're giving Henry Cejudo, which is kind of crazy. The thing with Ricky Simón is he's relentless, man. That Mexican boxing, in your face, dirty, ripping shots over the top, chain wrestling. He is the Mexican Merab. I mean, fuck, he's got a win over Merab some time ago. I think Ricky Simón does a little bit more prime than Barcelos, a little more athletic. And saying athletic with Barcelos and saying against, it's not like athletic from distance. Yeah, Barcelos is pretty light on his feet still. And, he's got some striking in the arsenal. But the thing is, there's not a massive consequence with Barcelos punches. Simón isn't the biggest puncher, but the way he knocked out Basharat has me thinking, if you're sitting there, Barcelos gets caught in the chin, he can get buckled. I think Simón ends up in top position. I think Simon's able to push a faster and heavier pace. I'm going to go Simón on a decision in a competitive affair.
I'm going to go with PDX Hoya getting the W because he just donated $100 and those are US dollars, not some Egyptian fucking, whatever that was. I appreciate you, PDX Hoya. That is fantastic. The pride of Portland, Oregon. The pride of Portland, Oregon. No, it's West Lynn, Oregon. That's chill. Ricky Simón, the gangster from West Lynn, the mean streets. High confidence for PDX Hoya's boy with his wrestling and cardio, right? I think that's right. Look, the credentials on the wrestling have to go over to the Barcelos side. And he was able to put on, a wrestling clinic against Peyton Talbot. Barcelos, you have to respect his offensive wrestling ability. But you're right, starting to wane a little bit. Wasn't very dominant against, it was Cody Garbrandt, right? Cody Garbrandt in the last one. And brother, you're up against Ricky Simón, who's a buzzsaw. Ricky Simón, he's the Energizer Bunny, man. He ticks at a high clip. He's going to be bringing that MMA wrestling. He's going to be bringing that youth. He's going to be going for it. He's very fucking hungry. I'm going to go with the kid in this one. I think Ricky Simón, and hardly even a kid anymore because he's got real UFC experience. What is he, blonde now, right? Blonde Ricky Simón's a fucking problem. I think Ricky Simón is going to really take this thing over as the fight goes on. I think he'll keep chain wrestling. Like, even when he misses something, he's fucking grinding you into the fence. He's trying to take that back. He's going back on the single leg. He's coming up on the body lock. He stays on people. Ricky Simón puts the car in drive and lays on the fucking gas pedal, PDX Hoy, I think you are right.
Thank you for the $100, big dog. Appreciate you.
Appreciate that,
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Hey, how about
Okay.
this? We were talking about Black Ops earlier. This is for PDX. This is the ray gun
That's
from
cool.
Black Ops. Okay, this
That's
is
sick.
it, and it's not a real gun, so don't flag this on YouTube. Okay, it's pretty dope.
That's a good prop right there.
Yeah, prop. Yeah, everybody chill the fuck out. It's actually a lighter.
That's sick, though. That's sick, man. Holy shit.
Anybody else play Black Ops? Am I the only one?
I played some, but I was not a Black Ops fanatic. My brother was big into BO 1, 2, 3. Yeah, for sure.
1 and 2, absolutely.
Yeah.
I played so much on 2. Black Ops 2, that might be my favorite, honestly. But
They got the new one coming out here soon.
I know somebody said in the comments 2 weeks. Why'd you tell me that? Don't tell me that.
You should do it, Finch. Listen,
Don't tell me that.
Get back on the
Jesus Christ.
games.
Oh my God. You're gonna be hours. I mean, just hours, endless. I'll just have my daughter in one hand, the fucking controller in the other hand. You know what I mean? This is not gonna be good, guys. You guys want me researching fights, okay? Don't talk to me about Black Ops. Don't talk to me about Call of Duty. This ain't good.
I think that Simone to win makes a lot of sense. Gambling wise, he's a minus 160 favorite. Barcelos at plus 140. I think Simone does a little bit more, outworks him. If he got a finish, I'd be impressed. It's 3-1 odds for the inside distance, but Barcelos a hard guy to finish off, even though, he's towards the later stage at 38, has a pretty good chin. Obviously, Umar Nurmagomedov flattened him, and, that was a tough loss. But, outside of that, he was only finished back in 2014 against a guy named Mark Dickman. It's like, you're looking at something of that caliber. It's like Barcelos, he's going to be a tough customer. I think Simone can outwork him in a competitive fight. And PDX with another $99.99. Appreciate the confirmation. Thanks, guys. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, PDX. Jesus Christ. Thank you, bro.
Thanks,
PDX, I appreciate that so much, man. I was saying we were going to get a Trading Champ portrait. I need PDX and Trading Champ, like a NASCAR fucking, I'll put them on my jacket. Thank you, PDX.
Thank you, PDX. You're a gangster. I think that Simone's the right call, Finch. I think we're on the right side of this one. I see him handling.
So too, buddy. I'm confident in it. I love the cardio and the tenacity, bro. Like you just can't make up for heart. Simone's got heart.
All right, man. Look at this. Jeff Cooper, he says, Finch, I don't know what this means.
Durizen you don't know about Durizen That's because you don't fucking play, son. All the snow on the fucking ground. You got to wake up the dragon in the basement. I know what the fuck you're talking about, Jeff Cooper. Don't worry. Durizen Zombies was crazy in Black Ops 3. Such good games, brother. My favorite is Revelations, just going from all of the different spots in Revelations, linking it all up, taking the Apothecon and trapping him in the fucking electricity and then going through the mouth. And then I use the back door there so that the zombies can't run up behind me. It's like a good camping spot. You just get the thunder gun and you just run the game inside of the Apothecon. Thank you, Jeff Cooper. I agree. Durizen is pretty good. I would say Durizen would be my third favorite map. Thank you.
Thank you guys for getting the dono train running, man.
Let's go.
I appreciate it, bro. Simone to win is the call for Finch, man. And any final thoughts on this one, Finch? You ready to keep running?
I mean, if people keep donating money, I'll keep talking about it. I think Ricky's I think Ricky Simone's going to be good here, man. This is a matchup where we're getting way higher in the skill level. Raoni Barcelos, I do have respect for. But let's say Ricky Simone, wants it more. So I think Ricky Simone decision's a lock.
Let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got Chris Taco Padilla versus Ismael Bonfim. I think Taco Padilla is going to get a competitive win over Bonfim. He's a former Savage Dog Lock. What I like about Taco Padilla in this fight, defensive awareness. He has very sound defensive skills. Now, the one element of his defense where I can find the chink in the armor is calf kicks. Bonfim attacking the legs. But there is consequence when you're in range with Padilla. I mean, if you look at Padilla's elbow against Rongju, that was spectacular. He has good striking of his own. He also has some wrestling in the arsenal. He's very physically strong, and I think that his ground game is pretty legit. Bonfim on the other side, he's an elusive kickboxer, and he's sharp with punches, and he's sharp with kicks. But I will say he was unfortunately overrated upon the UFC debut. You knock out Terrence McKinney with a flying knee, you're getting put on the hype train. And then he ran into trouble. Benoit Saint-Denis goes out and destroys him. Right. Then the fight after that, he beats Vince Pichel a year and a half ago by a decision. Fight after that, 8 months ago, Nazim Salikhov, who was my savage dog lock that week as well, kicks him in the face. He ends up not being able to see between rounds, and fight gets stopped. He's taken on a Padilla who's 3-0 in the UFC, coming off the competitive win against Jai Herbert. A fight against Jai Herbert where it wasn't the most eventful, but, you know, he had good moments of cage control. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, in UFC 321, just that control wasn't winning your fights. I'll tell you, I think when we go back to Vegas, sometimes the scoring is a little different, and control can pull off the victory in Vegas more often. Usually, as of late, maybe not. We'll see if there's a shift, because, you know, the UFC judging criteria changes on a swivel at points. We don't know for sure. It depends on who's judging the fight. But I'll say this. In that small cage, I think Padilla is going to be able to find some success in close range. I think Padilla can win some of the dirty boxing exchanges. Now, I emphasize dirty boxing exchanges. If he gets caught at distance with Bonfim has very sharp stand-up, and he can catch Padilla with some good shots. But an element of Padilla that's underrated as well, he's got pretty long arms for 5'9". He's got a 74-inch reach. He's going to be an inch taller with a 3-inch reach advantage. I think it's a pretty competitive fight. I think Taco Padilla is a better wrestler. I think Taco Padilla is better in the red zone, specifically in the dirty boxing, in the clinch. I think he's better in grappling entanglements, specifically clinch work and top control. And if takedowns a need be, Bonfim from the mid and long range, sharper with kicks, probably faster with straight shots. But can he keep Padilla off of him? Jai Herbert is very tall, and he's a good striker from the outside. He came into that fight with a 77-inch reach, and he's 6'1", and he couldn't keep Padilla off of him for enough time to get that decision. I think that Padilla gets a testy back and forth decision win against Bonfim in that. And I'm going to go with the Padilla underdog side in this fight.
Fuck, dude. I think I'm going to too. I really didn't know, you know, where I was going to go with this one. Taco Padilla is on a nice streak, man. You got to respect the work he's putting in. I know it was a split decision against Jai Herbert. But you know, him being able to stop Ronju, who beat Cody Steele and was able to get some nice wins. James Lontop's a good striker. I mean, I think he's going to be a hell of a test for Bonfim on the feet. And you know, Bonfim's submission game maybe a little overrated. I think Taco Padilla is a pretty goddamn well-rounded test for him too. You know, Taco Padilla's got fucking, you know, solid UFC experience at this point. You know, he's in his prime. Bonfim's coming off of this loss against Nazim Salikhov, which Nazim Salikhov is a gangster. But Benoit Saint-Denis ran right through him. That was back in 2023. He's only got 2 fights since 2023, one in 2024 against Vince Pichel, which is like kind of a layup. And then one in 2025 where he lost in February. You know, Chris Padilla has been on a fucking roll, dude. You know, multiple fights in 2024. This is his second fight in 2025. And again, Jai Herbert, good striker. Rongju, good striker. James Latta, good striker. I think he's going to be ready for a Bonfim with the technical striking. The Bonfim brothers are special, but I would say this is the lesser of the two. And we're talking about a real UFC vet in Taco Padilla. He's fucking 30 years old, you know, on a nice, 6-fight win streak, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, undefeated in the UFC. It's close to a 50-50 fight. And so I got to be honest, seeing Padilla as the dog like this, as I assumed he would be, is kind of putting me over here. The truth is it's a fight. It's a good fight. It's a good matchup. I like to see it. And I think it'll be a tough one to pick, but I'm going to lean for the dog too. Let's go.
Padilla's a +170 underdog here. Bonfim sitting at -200 is the favorite. Looking at some of the prop bets, submission win for Padilla +515, decision win for Padilla +500. Interesting to see that decision line is also 5-1. I can see Padilla outworking Bonfim. I can see Bonfim making some mistakes. I like the idea of Padilla hitting takedowns, or at the very least controlling against the cage. Obviously, in a true kickboxing fight, Bonfim is sharper. But I have questions around the fight IQ. Win against Vince Pichel, dominant decision, wasn't amazing. The Terrence McKinney knockout was great, but what has Bonfim really given me as far as evidence where I think he deserves to be a 2-1 favorite against a guy in Taco Padilla who's undefeated in the UFC, a guy in Taco Padilla who's on a 6-fight win streak, a guy in Taco Padilla who I think has some of the better defense in the weight class. And also note, Taco Padilla has not been knocked out in his pro fighting career since 2016, nearly a decade ago. I think Taco Padilla is pretty sharp, and I'm going to say that he wins a competitive fight.
AJ said, "What have you done?" You ever see the Ed Murphy skit? What have you done for me lately? And Bonfim, what the Terrence McKinney highlight is all we got. Like, Terrence is he knows how to lose a fight in a spectacular fashion. As good of a dude as he is. Taco Padilla is tough, durable, gonna bring the fight. Could be a close decision, bro. I love this matchup. Very, very good matchup. There's no lock here, but 51% Padilla for me. Bonfim technically sound, will make a fight out of it for sure. Yeah, it's going to be competitive everywhere it goes.
Let's go. Finchman and I both going dog on this one. We're going Padilla to handle. Let's get to our featured fight of the night. Muslim Salikhov versus Uros Medic. This is a tricky pick, man, because Uros Medic is a sharp southpaw kickboxer. But Muslim Salikhov has some real power, and Medic's chin, at times it seems like the Cinderella slipper. Punahele Soriano knocking him out in the first round. Him getting dropped in his last fight against Urbina. These are bad looks for me. Salikhov has seemed to hit some type of a second prime in his 40s now. I'm going to favor the side of Salikhov for now. I think that Uros Medic, if it goes longer, could technically outstrike him. But I must say, Salikhov still looks sharp and fast, especially earlier in fights. He definitely has some power in his hands, dexterity with his legs still. Timing is still sharp. It's one of those fights, man, where both guys come from a striking base. Medic, he looked good after getting dropped against Urbina and violently knocked him out. When he's on, he's fucking good with his hands. Timing is sharp. Good shovel uppercut, good straight left, good body kicks. There's a lot to like with Medic. Muslim Salikhov on the opposite side, though, definitely could catch him early, coming off the knockout against Carlos Leal. You're playing with fire here. You're kind of flipping a coin and hoping for the best. Salikhov's a bit of an underdog. I don't know. I want to see the weigh-ins. Salikhov's last 2 fights have been out of the U.S., and I have my conspiracies about the drug testing protocols.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro?
He has looked jacked and shredded. If I see him looking suspiciously frail, and if I see him maybe showing signs of being 41 years old, now I'm going to start to think a little bit different. If you look at the last time he fought in America, it was in 2024 against Santiago Ponzinibbio. He won a split decision. Before that, he fought at the UFC Apex against Randy Brown, was knocked out in the first round. Prior to that, fought in America in Las Vegas at the Apex and lost the decision to Nicholas Dalby. So stateside, he has not had such emphatic moments as of late. Outside of the States, he looked like a killer. To knock out the monster of Carlos Leal in one shot is pretty crazy. I'm saying this. I'll go Salikhov for now, but I need to see them on the scales. I need to see if he looks melted or he looks like he's still got that freaky look. I'm saying Medic is no easy task. This is a 50-50 fight where both guys I see pathways for. What do you think, Finch?
I should have got some rounds in with Medic. He was over at the at UFC gym. And he was there with was it Marab? Who was he there with? No, it wasn't. No, he was there a different time. He was with a King's MMA guy. It doesn't come to mind, but for sure Uros Medic was upstairs and got to watch him train a little bit. Brother, we all saw Salikhov step on the scales. Was it Abu Dhabi? What was that last one? Where it was like, Whoa, he's looking jack, son, against a Carlos Leal. Yep, against Carlos Leal, where he was a plus 375 underdog. Ends up getting a $50,000 performance bonus for knocking Carlos Leal's fucking block off. Before that, beat Kenan Song with a spinning wheel kick in the first round. He's doing this shit at 40. Beats Santiago Ponzinibbio. All solid strikers. All solid strikers. Now you're going to give him Uros Medic, who's getting slept by Punahele Soriano. You guys tell me how this works. Ready? He beats Matthew Semmelsberger. He loses to Oralby. He beats Tim Means. He loses to Soriano. He beats Urbina. He loses to Salikhov. I'm going with the 41-year-old fucking savage, okay? This motherfucker's cut out of granite. What is going on with the diet of Muslim Salikhov, okay? He's on that fucking, what are those people injecting in their stomach now? Peptides. My man's on them peptides, son. Salikhov is ready to rock. He's faster than he ever was before. He's more explosive. He's more jacked. Whatever the workout program is, text it to me, Muslim Salikhov. He looks great. I have to judge him based off of that Carlos Leal performance. He's putting Medic out in the first round, and you're getting 2-1 dog money on it.
Yeah, I think you have to go with Salikhov. Now, ask me or answer me this, riddle me this, I'll say. If you see him at weigh-ins looking noticeably fatter and less muscular,
fade.
Does that worry you?
Not even necessarily fade, but yeah, of course.
Right.
Bro.
The weigh-ins are important for this fight because I have to see. I have my conspiracies about Salikhov, and I've spoken to them even on Guru's show. I mentioned it. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, and I said after that Leal weigh-in, it was before the fight happened. I'm like, what the fuck? Salikhov looks jacked, dog, you know? And then he goes out there and he just quick twitches him. Bang, puts him out. You saw how happy Islam Makhachev was? They know something's up. They know something's going on. Yeah, I think Muslim Salikhov is 41 is somehow better than ever. Let's I'm gonna ride this dog right into it. Let's go.
PDX Hoya thing for $9.99, my friend. Do you guys think when brothers, spouses, etc. are fighting on the same card, it elevates training / performance? It seems like it. I don't know. I think it depends on the individual. I don't think I think it's case by case. For me, I'm going to say case by case basis. What do you think, Finch?
True. Fair take. I want to say this. I saw a personality out here on YouTube harping on this over and over again. Oh, if the first Bonfim brother loses, then it's surely going to affect the main event. If he loses, it could decide the main event win or loss. Come on. Seriously? It happens constantly. How many times are people's teammates? They're essentially brother. I mean, bro, when you train with somebody day in, day out, that feels like a brother. You know, how many times have the Diaz brothers been on the same card? You know, no, your previous, your training partner losing might fire you up. You know, maybe my little brother loses on the prelims, and I got a little bit of a fire in me. I'm gonna go and let the right hand go. Now I win by knockout. I mean, you can't really just say, oh, it's a bad thing. And I can't even necessarily say, oh, it's a good thing. But the one obvious good thing, speaking from experience, I fought on the same card as Jonathan Quinlan, Michael Hayden, Tyler Dempsey. Shout out to my brothers over there. We would fight on, the same card with Hidden Talent MMA. We fought on the same card. And what's great is when I'm doing strength and conditioning, I'm like, fuck, he's flipping the tire. I'm gonna get that extra. I'm gonna get this extra sprint in. Oh, he's ahead of me. I'm gonna push myself, right? You push each other. So I see mostly benefits. I don't see the downside. As I've heard out here on the interwebs, without dropping names. PDX Hoya, I'm gonna say slightly positive thing. And if you're talking about the Bonfim brothers, I did just pick against the first Bonfim. I mix up the names, Gabriel and the Bonfim brothers. Ismail. Yes, sorry, I've just picked against Ismail, but I think once that cage door locks, once you're in there and ready to fight, these factors are minuscule to none.
Let's go. Agree with the Finch. Odds for this fight have Muslim Salikhov sitting at underdog status. He is currently a plus 155 dog, with Euros Medic sitting at minus 175. The knockout prop for Salikhov is 2-1 odds. So we do have dog money Salikhov on the line with power, with accuracy, and with a fucking resurgence at 41 years old. I think he's a very live underdog here. And as long as he doesn't look like a mush on the scales, I think the Salikhov pick is pretty sharp.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's 2-1 dog. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Finchman and I both going for the side of Salikhov to handle business. Let's jump to the co-main event of the evening. We have Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales, recent Ultimate Fighter winner too, in Joseph Morales. Pulled off a nice upset against Alibi Idris. Idris was undefeated. He was the favorite to win the show. And Joseph Morales beat him up and strangled him with a triangle. I think that Morales is a real sharp up-and-comer in this weight class, fighting a guy who's essentially in an opposite career position. Matt Schnell had lost 3 straight fights, and he retired from the sport. He decided to make a comeback 6 months ago after a very short retirement. He goes out and beats Jimmy Flick on a competitive decision, but he was losing grappling moments to Flick. Now, of course, Jimmy Flick is a notable grappler, but Joseph Morales does bad things to a Jimmy Flick. Joseph Morales is a talent. Joseph Morales has good wrestling, pretty solid boxing, I'd say. And he's got real submissions. Matt Schnell could get caught with punches on the feet. He can get put on his back. He could get dominated on the ground. He could get ground and pounded, but he probably gets strangled. I'm going with Morales. I think he finishes Matt Schnell and gets his UFC career starting off pretty well on the second UFC run. I mean, he fought Davison Figueiredo several years ago.
AJ just wrote the obituary, homie. God damn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I don't know, lies detected. Morales should be able to take him down, you know? I like how he gets into the body and then he lifts, you know? Bilal Muhammad style. You get into those hips, get your hips under you, lift these motherfuckers up. AJ knows from lifting weights, you don't round your back when you're picking up a fucking weight. You get your shoulders rolled back, you get underneath, you get your hips underneath something, boom, to pick it up. Morales does a good job with that. I think he's going to pick up Schnell. I think he's going to put him on the ground. I think he's going to dominate him in that position. Schnell has lost to a lot of good guys in the UFC, fucking Durden, Steve Erceg, fucking Nicolau, Brandon Royval. Who hasn't he lost to in the UFC? I think next is Morales. You're right. Morales would do bad things to Jimmy Flick. That's a good way to say it. And I think that he's going to be able to significantly out-grapple Schnell. Morales rear naked strangle makes a lot of sense.
I like that, man. Morales, he's a sizable favorite at minus 270, but deserved tag. I think he's in his prime. He's the fighter surging up the ranks right now, coming off a very impressive Ultimate Fighter run. And the guys that he also beat on Ultimate Fighter both won on Contender Series. Eduardo Henrique, ultimately he didn't get a contract to the UFC, but he won. Imanol Rodriguez, who he beat by a testy split decision, got a violent knockout on Contender Series in round number 1. So I feel like Morales definitely has a lot of upside here. And against Matt Schnell, who left the sport for several months, decided to make a comeback, it should be one-way traffic. Morales to win inside of the distance is minus 110. I think he's very live for a finish here. Inside of the distance makes a lot of sense. Submission at plus 200 is the official pick. KO is not impossible at plus 400, but I do think he should have his way with Matt Schnell and most likely finishes him too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Matt Schnell's just like, you know, below gatekeeper level. And I think this is not, you know, Morales just beat a 10-0, you know, good grappler. I think Schnell's going to feel weak to him. I really do. Yeah, Morales should be able to finish this fight.
Let's go. Finchman and I both going with the Morales side, which I have to say, expected. I think he should go out and beat Matt Schnell up. And we agree inside distance, very live as well.
Very live. I guess I could see, you know, wrestling decision, but yeah, I think more than likely he catches a neck.
Let's go. Morales for the dubs. We're both calling it. Let's jump to the main event of the evening. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you hit that damn like button. If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe it up. Also, shout out to the replay gang that always tunes in. We don't forget about you guys. We love you too. W in the comments from the replay gang. We want to hear from you down below. Main event, Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. I'm going with Bonfim to go out and win this fight. I think he's going to have his way in the grappling department with a veteran of the sport in Randy Brown, a very sharp boxer, and a tall and long Brown. Bonfim is the better of the brothers, Gabriel Bonfim, and I do feel like he's still a pretty blue chip prospect. His last fight was a competitive win against Wonderboy, where Wonderboy had moments against him for sure. But I look at that and I'm like, okay, but Wonderboy is still, even in his 40s, phenomenal. Randy Brown's pretty good, but he was backed up and controlled by a Brian Battle. Granted, it was also a Brian Battle that missed weight, so there were some red flags around it. But I rate Bonfim's offensive wrestling and offensive submission attack is higher. Bonfim has some punch power too. It's not like he can't strike. Bonfim can crack a bit on the feet, but his ground skills are his best element. And I think he definitely can threaten Brown with takedowns. I think he can also land shots on the feet with the threat of the takedown. Now, if he just got into a boxing match with Randy Brown, yeah, I think he's losing at distance. Brown is going to be bringing in a good 5.5-inch reach advantage. He's going to be 2 inches taller, and he's pretty quick from the outside with a nasty jab and then a right hand that follows. But I think we're going to see Bonfim close the distance on Brown, especially in that apex cage. He's got a lot of time to work. I think he gets to a dominant position on the ground, and I think he does finish the night with a submission. We're going Bonfim by sub.
Brown's got power. You know, it's just such a different matchup from Wonderboy. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Oh, well, you know, it was such a close fight with Wonderboy. Apples and oranges. I mean, Wonderboy's like playing chess, you know? You know, and Bonfim's such a technical kickboxer and a technical grappler too, honestly, that being against a chess master like Wonderboy, I think made him actually internalize a lot of that fight and really not use his athleticism and his speed and his advantages over the 40-year-old Wonderboy, as to where Randy Brown, you know, is all about explosiveness, is all about speed, is all about timing. Remember, Randy Brown knocked out Muslim Salikhov. I definitely had that one. I think you did too. Randy Brown KO'd Muslim Salikhov. But, you know, Bonfim, very technically sound, a smart fighter. I do think that his arsenal of weapons is deep enough to work around the power of a Randy Brown. And then I do think he'll have a distinct submission grappling advantage if this thing does hit the floor. You know, Randy Brown's going to give him a run for his money with the danger. When you're, you know, it's like they filmed Lord of the Rings out there in the fields where they had bombs and stuff. So they would keep moving them in New Zealand because there would be like a little bomb here, a little bomb there. You can't try to not step on them to not blow yourself up. Being in there with Randy Brown, you just got to move around those bombs. Just make sure you're not stepping on the landmines, and then you're going to be fine. I think that Bonfim looks good here. I think Bonfim could have a really solid performance against a Randy Brown, where he really starts to overwhelm Randy Brown when we get Randy Brown just a little tired, a little bit of that pop. You know, the most dangerous time to deal with Randy Brown is when he's got that explosive energy early. After Bonfim gets past that, I think it's smooth sailing. Give me Gabriel Bonfim, and either he kickboxes technically and just gets the dub on the scorecards, or you know, they exchange and he's going to get a clinch and climb onto the back and, you know, make something happen with some type of a choke. I don't know why I see some type of like a guillotine or a front choke with Randy Brown's long ass neck. But either way, Bonfim's the pick.
I think Bonfim strangles him. I'm with it. I think he's going to go out and win by sub. I expect Bonfim to be able to threaten with takedowns. I could see an over-under position where he does lock up a ghillie. He's got a tight one. Could see some type of front choke. I could see a back take into a rear naked strangle. I think Bonfim's jiu-jitsu is very, very sharp. Though Brown is actually decent with his BJJ, it's not to the same caliber. I think the lanky build, that's the striker's build. When they're on the ground, there's a lot of advantages from top position for Bonfim. And in the striking game, I think Brown with the hand speed, but Bonfim could still crack on the feet. He could still land some big shots. And with the threat of takedown, I think that could stifle the offensive output of Brown's boxing. You know, against Muslim Salikhov, where Brown looks spectacular, there's no worry of a takedown on the opposite side. Now, Randy Brown did okay against Brian Battle, ultimately lost a, you know, competitive decision. but he was getting smotherfucked a bit by Battle and backed up against the cage. Bonfim, I think, is better at execution with the takedowns than a Brian Battle.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Bonfim win by submission, and I think Bonfim's definitely one to watch in this UFC welterweight division. He's still very young at 28 years old. He's got a lot of time to grow and marinate, but he's in that top 15. And he's in a UFC main event here. So with a win, I mean, he's in for a real big fight, man. He's up next. Big fights only after this one.
Did you see Brian Battle's post-fight speech after the last knockout he got? You saw that?
Yeah.
He had his like, I have a dream Martin Luther King moment, bro. He had his fucking, he went off, dude. That was really good. I'm not even religious. It was on some Christian shit. He killed it. You know, that was really cool. Don't ask for a lighter load. Ask for broader shoulders or whatever. I'm like, God damn, bro. I'm getting up off the couch right now. Let's go, Brian Battle. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that the biggest difference here would be in the grappling, would be in the submission ability. But even on the feet, AJ, like Randy Brown will send a kick up real hard, whip a cross out there real quick. But in general, I think like the arsenal that Bonfim has, there's so many kicks he has, there's so many punches he has. He stays real patient. I think that's going to work against Randy Brown.
Let's go. I like it, man. Finchman and I both go on the Bonfim side. He's minus 175 is the favorite to Brown at plus 150 is the dog. If you do think Bonfim wins by submission, the line is at plus 165 for Bonfim to go out and get some type of submission. But, you know, obviously our estimation, our hypothesis, I guess, will be that the strangle will be what happens here. We're thinking a strangle. I'm thinking a strangle. I'm excited for this fight. I got to tell you, Finch, these last two Apex cards have been fucking good. And there was a long time where we've had some fucking disgusting Apex cards that were trash. These have been good Apex cards. I think heading into 2026, I hope that the trend of Apex cards with some really good matchups continues. And I see it happening, man.
I mean, the UFC has been so incentivized to stack pay-per-views. Why? So you pay for them, you know? So now that you don't have to pay for them anymore, I wonder if they change it up. I wonder if they spread the love a little bit. I wonder if Steve Garcia versus Onama, you know, which would be like a prelim headliner on a pay-per-view, you know, would not make it. I wonder if they give us some bigger fights. To be determined, you know. I would say as a longtime UFC fan, you know, I remember fucking Clay Guida versus Roger Huerta headlining fight nights. Like, you would get some important fights for the division. Yes, Clay Guida used to be an important fight for the division. Especially Roger Huerta, actually. They used to hype him. On Spike TV, right? Is all Roger Huerta show. You know, that you would get some more stacked fight nights. I do think that's actually live to happen in 2026. I'm looking in the Palantir, and that's what I'm seeing. Fun card. Yes. You ready to do this parlay?
I'm so ready, man. It is time for the Finchman and I to make some magic happen. It's parlay time.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah. Parlay time. AJ and I agree. Joseph Morales is a lock Saturday night. Yeah, I got to go with Morales, man. I think he's hitting these takedowns. I think Schnell is like bottom of the barrel UFC gatekeeper. And, you know, you got Morales in here who's kind of coming in on fire. I think it's like a good spot for him. So he's getting like a co-main event of the fight night. But is it co-main event of the fight night? A co-main event of a fucking fight night? But, you know, he's coming in with all this momentum and they're giving him, you know, sort of a, sorry, Matt Schnell, more of a bottom guy. Almost Jimmy Flick level. So let's go Morales, first leg.
I think Morales is a good lock on the card. I think it makes a lot of sense to have that prediction. I think I'm going to go Yanez on the lineup to get back on track. It's plus 103 for those two. I must say, I was initially thinking, or actually secondary thought, I guess you could say, I'm like, do I want to go Cavalcanti and put a ladies fight in there? But no, I'm going to go with Yanez. I think that Quiñonez has some obvious flaws. I don't see Yanez getting ran over on the ground. I think Yanez is the better boxer. I think that Morales and Yanez to win, high likelihood of success, and you got a plus 103 line, which is pretty damn nice. I think, yes, it comes to fruition.
I like that. I like it. And it's plus money, folks. Are we not always hooking you guys up? Let's fucking go. We appreciate you guys tuning in every single week. You guys are consistent as fuck, and we try to be as well. All right. Let's go, AJ.
What's the plan after this, Mike Finch? I know you dropped the video beforehand. What's the Finch man's plan?
But that was Saturday. I haven't done my recap, bro. Bro, Sunday, I just needed to sleep in, dog. I didn't take a shower in the morning or nothing.
Shit.
My hair was looking crazy as fuck. You know, I've grown the hair out for Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
I got to get this shit chopped, bro. This is crazy.
I'll be honest, man. I'm missing the Finch clean fade, man.
You
Keeping it classy. I know.
You know, I was Aragorn too, so I grew out the 5 o'clock shadow a little bit.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back on the normal schedule. So that means that most confident picks is going down right after this. I'm also putting together a couple massive parlays. I'm just gonna do like 2, maybe 3 end of the year parlays where I'm gonna bet across multiple cards. And yeah, I know.
Is this a video? Where is this gonna take place? Where can I find
this? This is definitely like DM at Mike Finch MMA on Instagram if you guys want to see my parlay type thing, because you know what? That's what's been happening. I've had like 3 people hit me up and go, yo, I want a parlay, and I've already been wanting to do one across cards, and I think this fight night is a good place to start because the odds on a couple of these are nice. So hey man, let's take a shot at the goal here, AJ. If you guys want to see my long leg parlays, we're talking centipede legs parlays, DM at Mike Finch MMA. That's my Instagram. If you guys want to see my bets, like just the straight up, you know, generally it's like a lock parlay and then like a dog of the week, DM at Mike Finch Show. That's my Telegram. That's what I run. And bro, I'm just gonna parlay it into last week. Got a dub last week. Let's do it again, AJ. Let's go.
Let's go. Listen, chat. Run the likes up for us. The like help us out. All right. Hit the hype button as well. That's the new thing YouTube is doing. Boost the algorithm for the show. We got nearly 250 people watching live, so we should have at least triple digit likes to finish this thing off. And I'm saying it with an accent on purpose. Triple digits. I'm saying it serious. You know,
you're saying the average motherfucker watching us right now did not like this stream?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What do we got going on here? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This was for the baby shower. All right. I'm not into no weird funky shit, you sick fuck. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go primary arm, okay? Secondary arm. It's not gonna be like Isaac Dulgarian where I leave this shit out here for you, you know, like Del Val. I'm covering it, and then boom, we're choking you the fuck out. Hit that fucking like button or get slept, son.
Let's go, Finch, man. Keeping it serious, guys. In the live chat, I have the link to Mike Finch's channel. Go watch his shit. He's got good stuff coming, and he'll be live here in the next 15, 20 minutes. All right. We love you guys. I'll be live tomorrow afternoon around 1:30 p.m. Eastern time for the lunchtime live. So keep it locked in with your boy. Eat some lunch with me. Hang out tomorrow evening. I got a show. I might do a video in the in-between. So lots of content coming for your boy tomorrow. Finchman with the ray gun. You got any final words for the people?
Sayonara.
Oh, shit. Peace out, everybody, and good night.